Hello, and a very warm welcome to the AEL University Cup for Rainbow Six, presented by Chatime. I am Jack, and with me on the desk is Kafulu, going to be joining me here for this pre-show. It's all culminated to this moment. Our teams have been duking it out over the last 3 months, and it all comes to this grand final.
Indeed, yeah. Look, it's been an absolutely stunning season between quite a fair few of the teams. We've seen some really interesting upsets, some really interesting storylines form up leading up to this very grand finals. And honestly, it's an honor to really get to be part of the grand final because look, both of the teams deserve to be here. And honestly, I would be surprised if we're not going to be going all three maps with full overtime.
All three maps, indeed, and that's also what all of us at the talent desk have predicted as well, or most of us at least.
Most of us, yeah.
Yeah, these predictions, they're actually very, very split. So a lot of us think that Monash might win, and a lot of us think that RMIT also have a very good chance at this win as well. Now,
Well, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, sorry.
Now, the 2021 Australian Esports University League is presented by Chatime Australia, and it's due to our amazing sponsors that we're able to run this fantastic tournament. It's open to all university students across Australia to compete, and they have a shot at this $3,000 prize pool. So the winner of this game goes home with a nice $2,000 bonus to their paycheck.
Nice. Yeah, look, it's definitely one way to get the motivation up and sorted for the tonight's matchups. And obviously, huge thanks to one of our sponsors as well, that is Chatime. You can get your own fresh iced tea and try the new range really at any of the 120 Chatime tea breweries across Australia. So definitely do make sure to check them out. We do have some special promotions as well running. But without further ado, let's actually introduce properly our teams for the grand finals. Of course, it is going to be RMIT versus Monash Onyx, and honestly, both teams have to me at this point, both teams really could pretty much turn the tide in a matter of just a few moments. So I would assume that each and every round is going to be down to pretty much 1v1s.
Yeah, definitely. And we have our head-to-head players here. Vincia on the 1.2 rating versus Pika with a 1.68 rating. So fantastic rating from Pika from Monash Onyx. And also on RMIT, we've got 90 Jin, AXX Hydra, OJ, and NBD. So fantastic players in their own right. And I'm sure they're going to be making a big impact in our coming games.
100%. Yeah, look, we can see the majority of the mains as well. Funnily enough, it's kind of when you kind of graze over the rating as well, it's been kind of very closely contested between the two teams, but Onyx theoretically have the upper hand on paper, at least on rating wise, but bans wise, Jack, we are going on to a very unusual set of maps, let's just say that.
Yeah, like I'm surprised that Clubhouse ban was the first ban to be taken out from RMIT. We've been seeing that map throughout our entire tournament, and I'm kind of glad that we don't have to see it once again. I believe this would have been the 12th time it's been played if it was picked today, but yes, indeed. Clubhouse and Coastline, two kind of very standard maps that we're very used to seeing in this tournament. We're going to be banned out first.
Yeah, look, I mean, we've even prior to the broadcast started, all of us in the call being kind of memeing about essentially going for Clubhouse, Oregon, maybe a Villa to be brought on board. Obviously, two of those maps did still manage to slip through, but yeah, Clubhouse is definitely a curious one to say at the very least. As a matter of fact, actually, let's have a look at the highlights to pretty much get a full understanding why is it a very curious map ban, because honestly, it's been one of those kind of very frequently played maps, and it's known to be still, for the majority of the time, already overstratted to the point where it's just kind of you need to nail down your gunfight and coordination, and pretty much you all sorted on the strat side. But yeah, look, with Clubhouse out of the equation, Oregon to be the first one, honestly, I still feel like there might be a few things that can be done with Oregon, but at this point, it's kind of reaching a similar position as well.
Yeah, Oregon has been played a lot of times, and here we see our head-to-head maps. Clubhouse has been played many times by RMIT Black, who in this season so far have actually a 100% win rate in all the matches they've played. So fantastic showing from them, especially through this playoff series. They've just been flawless through this.
Exactly, yeah. And, well, Oregon being a 91% success rate as well for Onyx, this is definitely one of the good showcases
No
for them
doubt.
as well. And look, yeah, honestly, with Clubhouse out of the equation, yeah, I feel like this is going to be a bit of a hit for the comfort zone for the teams, but I definitely still think that Oregon and Chalet are going to be bangers, to say the very least.
Definitely, definitely. And I like this new addition of the Chalet map. It got reworked pretty recently, so teams are still getting used to it. Has only been kind of in competitive play for the last season or so, but we've been seeing some very interesting new strategies being run on it. It's quite interesting that it is actually a little bit of a attacker-sided map. We've been seeing about a 55% attacker win rate on it. So we'll be seeing if that trend continues into this game, as it is our second map to be played.
Yeah, true. Yeah, Chalet being kind of very open to some of the soft breaching and some of the vertical play to be done. Definitely going to be a much curious map to witness. But let's have a look at our wonderful operator statistics brought by our wonderful production man Nuttery. Look, so far, I mean, are we surprised about those bans on the attackers and defenders being kind of Thatcher and Jackal, and then on the defense side being Kayet and Mira? Any notes on that side, Jack?
Well, Thatcher ban, not a surprise at all. We've just seen him not being existent in this whole tournament. 90% ban rate, so that's an ouch for our British operator there. Mira at 75% ban rate as well. Some of the more interesting ones are going to be banned. Actually, Jaeger on the 3.5%. We've seen his gun nerf, so it's maybe a little less necessary than ever before. As we've also seen a few nerfs to some of that bulletproof utility as well. And on the attacking side, we see this zero ban as well at 3.5%. What do you think about this?
Yeah, I mean, the zero ban somewhat makes sense. The man in his current position, with the sheer amount of utility that he can bring in to the attack, is actually an absolute behemoth, albeit quite a fair few teams do favor a little bit more of an aggressive approach, but Zero also can sport that with the fantastic gun. So overall, I can see why he's being banned. The main surprise to me is probably just why he's not being banned more, seeing as he can bring in so much information, so much utility. The main thing about Jaeger, though, I just want to make a quick note about that in general. The Jaeger and Wamai bans, quite a fair few teams been toying around those kinds of bans, no matter what league they play in. And it's an interesting kind of thing to witness, because quite a fair few teams do lean into the whole Jaeger Wamai setup quite hard, and the moment you take away that protection from the grenades, from the flashes, from even the smokes, their whole defense kind of crumbles and falls apart. So possibly that could be brought on board here for, say, something like Chalet, but I would imagine for Oregon, there's already plans panned out quite nicely for both teams.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. For the operator bans, very important phase of our matches. As for our maps that have been picked this playoff, it's going to be Clubhouse and Oregon being very heavily picked, as we discussed before. Oregon 10 times, going to be the 11th time today, and I'm sure it'll be a banger of a game. We've seen it be played multiple times in many different ways. Chalet, our second least picked map, so glad to see it being picked once again. Going to definitely see a little bit more of a different playstyle on that map as compared to the other ones.
Indeed. Well, without further ado, let's actually full casters. That is going to be Bluepanda and Spudoom to be taking all of you through all that action. Oh, right. As a matter of fact, we do get to
Well, look, we're having some other issues, but welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It is coming up to game time here for the AEL University League. I'm Bluepanda. Joining me is Spud. Spud, we get to take the people through all the action. We've got a number of maps to play today. Could go all the way to full 3, which is what a lot of us are predicting. But to kick things off, Oregon, tried and true. Then we go to Chalet, this new territory. People are still not quite sure what to do with it. How are you feeling coming into this?
Dude, I am so excited. I've been waiting for this moment the entire season. We all knew it was going to be a Clash of Titans, and a Clash of Titans it is indeed. We have RMIT Black, of course, 2 times champions in the last 2 seasons, and facing off against them is once again Monash Onyx. They have actually gone against them in the last 2 seasons as well, in the grand finals, and both times have come out on the short end and lost. So will it be 3rd time's a charm, or will they once again fall to the champions of our league? Well, guess we'll have to find out as we head into not just Oregon quite yet, but our player cams actually, and actually going to have a look at them and seeing whether they're as excited as we. And here we have RMIT Black with 90 Jin, and of course, I believe that would be Fincia himself, the man, the myth, the legend. Of course, who could forget that 1v5 ace clutch on Clubhouse? But here they are in all their glory, and I'm sure they're super excited to take on their opponents.
Yeah, I mean, both of them, 90 Jin and Vincia, incredibly capable players in their own right, very, very stacked members of this RMIT team. So we get to, witness their reaction to some of this. And on the other side of the coin, we have not only Coach Pronwen coming out of Monash Onyx, we also have, I can't quite see who the other one is, but we've got one of the other members here from Monash Onyx already, and willing. Yodapug, that's the one. I saw it beforehand. Oh, I completely forgot. But I mean, look, Monash, always the bridesmaid, never the bride, unfortunately. Maybe tonight is their night. They are the ones who picked up Chalet. They're one of the only teams that has played at this competition. They are currently 1-1 team, which is where they pick up that win the second match. So this is going to be an interesting night.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of Chalet, we saw in the statistics just then, it's been banned a total of 11 times. And yeah, Monash are one of the only teams who have played it. They did lose it to QUT 8-6, but that's very, very close. And they were the ones to choose to go to that map in the first place. So I think they definitely have something up their sleeves here. And RMIT picking Oregon, that was a bit of a surprise to me because Oregon is one of the very successful maps for Onyx as well. I do believe they haven't actually lost any more than 4 rounds on that map. It's a 100% win rate for them. So a brave choice, but maybe it will be what pays off for RMIT Black here.
Yeah, for 3 of their 4 lower bracket matches, they've played Oregon. Like you said, they didn't drop more than 4 rounds each time, taking down not only QUT, one of the most terrifying teams in this competition, also UQU, which is the team that dropped down to the lower bracket, having lost to RMIT Black earlier. So it's not like they've played it against teams that didn't even make it through the playoffs. They are playing it against some of the best teams in the competition, coming up with a big win there, and then being able to progress through that bracket to where they find themselves now. Again, up against RMIT, who have just been indomitable throughout this the group stage, the playoff stage, last semester, the semester before that as well. So this is, deny that chance at a 3rd victory in a row. And I wouldn't be surprised if Monash was the one to do it. But here we go, Spud. We're jumping into Oregon. The analysts will have a bit of a break before we see them back again. Now it's our turn. What are we going to see? We've seen 89.9% ban rate on Thatcher. Do you reckon that's going to continue?
I reckon it will be Thatcher. And okay, never mind. I don't know if that's a misclick, but Ash ban is not something I would have expected to see. We saw it being banned a total of 1 time this entire season. It looks like Monash will be taking it a step further, making it 2 times.
Well, it's not crazy out there, especially against a team like Monash Onyx. They do have an incredibly capable Ash player as one of their substitutes, but it's whether or not he's playing today. And there we go. RMIT will respond with that Thatcher, continuously bumping up his ban rate throughout this competition. Now we start to see the defensive bans come out. Maverick still left on the board, which begs the question, do we see Cade banned out? Good chance we're probably going to see that Mirror. Do we see the Malusi, something? Even the Wamai could come into play here.
Yeah, something just to really slow down some of that aggression for RMIT Black and also from Monash would really be handy. But it looks like a Valkyrie ban, taking out some of that intel that that either team could be bringing. So interesting ban. Again, not something we usually see. Usually that Kaid mirror. And of course, the Wamai, as you did mention, just denying some of that utility and make it really, really difficult to push some of those power positions out.
Well, it's wild. Cade let through, Mira's let through, Malusi's let through here in Oregon. This could present a rather interesting setup for the defense of Monash Onyx. They had the opportunity to ban out the Mira. They say, you know what, we're going to stick with it. We're going to hold it down, which could make for some very, very aggressive setups. Already we start to see this roster rounding itself out. Coach Pronwin going to be picking up that smoke. No surprises. Mira there looking to lock it in, looking to get it on board for Skonic. They could do some real damage here.
Yeah, they've really got some interesting picks here, but as I say that, it looks like the mirror will be taken off the board. I guess everyone's just so used to playing with that mirror, it's not really factored in the strategies here, but Goya will be taking her place. We have seen Goya used to really great effect here by Monash in not just Oregon, but lots of different maps here, so it's no wonder that they have chosen to bring this bring this Goya as well. And of course, Jackal being for some vertical destruction here will be a welcome sigh of relief for Monash, who don't have to deal with that foot sniffing going on there.
Yeah, and then we did have confirmation from Coach Owen. Well, no, he's not a coach. He's one of the mainstays here in this Monash Onyx team. Adam, unfortunately, having some minor issues with the tech side of things, so Pika will be stepping in, one of the other players on the Nations OCL roster that Owen does coach, so it could make for an interesting setup there for them. But on the other, look, RMIT Black, these are some well-known names: 90 Jin, X Hydra, NDB, OJ, the man himself from Rufflecopters, finishing third in Oceanic Nationals in their first stage playthrough, and then Vincier coming out of Wildcards. These are some stacked rosters, a little bit more leaning towards the side of RMIT Black, but Monash, you can't count them out at any stage.
Yeah, Monash are definitely one of those teams that play together really well. They just spend so much time together. You see them, in the rank stacks, playing the quick match. They've got that chemistry, whereas, RMIT Black are just kind of resting on the fact that they've got some really, really great players. So will it be individual gun skill here who comes out on top? Or will it be, kind of the coordination from Monash, which will really be the deciding factor here? I guess we'll find out as we start seeing bit of contact here. Drones coming out now. AEL looking to deny some of this early push and just slow down the attackers a little bit there.
Now, coming into Oregon, starting off in the attack. Present an interesting situation for RMIT Black. Basement hold as well. No breach denial, which, really hasn't seemed to be an issue given that we are going for that top-down clear out of RMIT. They've got themselves into the first floor. They're looking to get control over those freezer stairs so they can push on down. But look at the setup. Both players, both off-site presence players on this Onyx side playing around the freezer stairs. Hal going to make the call to pull back, but look at this. They're getting the hatches open. So RMIT, they're not being passive in their setup. Pika aggresses up the T3 stairs, but nothing found other than a couple of bullets going back his way. We are starting to see both teams test that water.
Yeah, definitely not too much roam presence here in terms of the upper floors, but definitely being not passive at all. Aggression is the name of the game here. So they kind of just figure out where they're all at. Pushing down the freezer stairs now. Sonics will be the one behind that Goya shield, holding that critical place down, as it does appear to be kind of the direction of the push here. So foregoing those backstairs and rather going for this freezer. Almost gets that first kill, doesn't quite kill him. OJ does get away with his life, but Sonics, so much pressure here.
Well, and the process of that, Skonix is going to find the kill on a Jin as well before he goes down himself. Hexamine also says that there are 9,672 nitro cells in the top hand corner of the screen, so we are just going to have to get it sort of unfortunate time for it to happen, unfortunately, Spud.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there, but all I saw was, the freeze frame on Sonic's dying and that C4 exploding, and then here we are. Back to here, it appears
that's going to be immortalized in a University League. Skylark's going to go back and watch the VOD. It was on screen for a full 3 seconds.
Moments before disaster.
Yeah. Oh, well. Look, we are just waiting on confirmation from production as to what has happened before we get ourselves back into it. Unfortunately, we've had the Observer PC crash, so that is unfortunate, to say the very, very least. So we are just going to have to wait for that to get sorted. Spud, we saw both teams test their waters. There's not a huge amount that we can read into. Some early aggression, but, it was limited in where it did happen. Monash Onyx playing a far more defensive game than we've seen out of them previously.
Yeah, we know Monash like to really lean into those roams and that really heavy roam setup, and also just peak everything. But it looks like this time they've toned it back down a little bit. They do know that RMIT Black has some really great players with gun skills, so they're not looking to challenge them so much head on, but really just wait for that right timing when they start coming down those stairs, as we saw, and they're just not aware and getting those picks where they can. Of course, traded back immediately. So what we can really say is that both of these teams are at the top of their game, and they're ready for the fight here.
Yeah, I mean, like, you can only imagine how much work has gone into this. They want to be able to pick up that prize money at the end of the day. Obviously, it's no small amount of money up for grabs here in the playoff stage, and everyone is going to be wanting, the bigger of the two slices available. The difference, obviously being $2,625. So that's a pretty big discrepancy between first and second place. It's the difference between 6 months worth of chart time and maybe 2 or 3 days, depending on who you are.
Yeah, look, if you're drinking that much chart time, then all I can say is well done for supporting our sponsors. Good on you. So, but it will be a bit of a technical pause here as our PC has indeed crashed, and we will just be waiting a moment. And in fact, I'm not sure if Nuttery will be able to switch us out, so we might just be here for a while, in fact. But yeah. Not too much we can really read. There's just
it's Siege that crashed, apparently, not the PC. So he's here. He's making all of these lovely things happen behind the scenes, but no, we can't see what's going on in the game. Okay, look, we'll put it to you. Spud, we saw one frag found, immediately refragged. The positioning that we saw, do you reckon RMIT got in and won that round?
You know what? I really don't know, because it felt like the setup from Onyx was better than sort of RMIT's attack, but RMIT were also had really good positions in terms of where they were pushing it from. They kind of ignored that bunker choke point. A lot of teams like to push that, and they've just chosen completely to bypass it, and they're kind of pinching down that freezer and also the big tower stairs. So I reckon the kind of decider is whether they choose to push Laundry as well and get that pinch from Laundry. If they don't do that, I feel like it might be a little bit difficult to kind of get into the site from the big tower and the freezer area.
Yeah, no, I mean, we saw a meeting room hatch. It's not like different entrances in, but you just look at the setup that was available to the team, and here we go. We jump in, and Monash with a team to pull out the victory in the end. Maybe it was all down to that opening frag. We won't know. Unfortunately, it's just one of those things that will be... Well, I suppose we could check the match replays at the very, very end, but for now, we're just going to have to assume that Monash were absolutely huge, and they just picked up the round. But Dorm's up next. Given the propensity that we have seen for these teams and their setups, I'm interested to see what happens, especially given, you see Owen, he's bringing yellow. This is a pick on this bomb site that has seen a huge amount of priority as of late.
Yeah, I think we all know
it was a flawless round.
We know what he's going to do.
It was wrong. Yeah. No, I'm just trying to make sense of all the kills that happened. Owen picked up a 3-piece.
Wow, look at... Yeah, in fact, yeah, that's right. Doesn't seem like RMIT Black able to get any kills. So much for a great frag is maybe spoke too soon. But it's only the first round, I guess. We'll have to find out.
No. But that makes me concerned. So if no one on RMIT Black got a kill, did Sonics kill himself? Or Sonic kill himself? Because we saw him dead to rights on screen. The shield had gone. So either it means that he killed himself, or a teammate shot the Vulcan shield. I don't know. Either way, he's dead, and he's the only one to have died. RMIT Black, that's a rough loss to be taking.
Oh, that's going to go in images that precede unfortunate R6 events, I think. We should send one to him.
I want to watch the replay after this and see what actually happened, because he was just dead. There was nothing else he could have done. But for the fact that no one picked up a kill makes you wonder how it happened. Already, though, we see RMIT getting themselves inside, looking to find that early info, flush out these roamers downstairs. Pika, again, hell of a nuisance when he plays these off-site positions, playing the Jaeger as you would expect. The man is a bit of a gunner. NDB playing towards small tower. They are opening up these angles. They are looking to get these crossfires established so they can clear out this downstairs presence, but they just haven't found anything to deal with Pika yet.
Yeah, this small tower push, this is the second time we've seen it. They used it when they were going down towards that first floor. But again, Pika, just I think the one player downstairs actually being able to do so much damage, or just in terms of wasting time. We'll be pressuring that big window now, though, so hopefully they get a few picks there. Otherwise, if they can't get these men down, it's going to be really difficult to push.
Well, Owen's found one. He's traded back immediately by Jin, but they lose out on Hydra, who was going to be key in flushing out some of these off-site players. Looks like we might be having some minor server issues, but things will carry on. Play will resume in a 4v4 with a minute 10 left on the clock. Orange Juice, he's on the rappel, but Pika finds the kill onto Vince down below. That Zofia found Sonic as well, going to find NDB. They are just whittling away the attack here of RMIT Black, and you've got to wonder if this comes out of the sheer amount of Oregon that Monash have played as of late.
Yeah, we know Monash is really good at it, but this is looking like another step above. A flawless round on that first round, and now just picking apart RMIT Black. They have no answer for it. They're just kind of pushing and hoping for the best. Might get a pick here as he challenges this angle, doesn't quite catch the head. And with 4 players alive, no, make it 1, and Pika gets another. All up to OJ to get... Jin to get anything. He gets 1 though, makes it a 1v3, but he's low on health and low on time. And Pika cleans up and makes it another round for Onyx.
Pika just fragging out here, and the pause has been called. I would have to imagine that this is, some minor lag issues, some server issues coming through. But look, we've now seen a round in its entirety, Spud, coming out of this, and the player cams are looking rather serious. Oh, and he's pretty... Well, it's hard to read as how he's feeling at the moment, but we've seen a round played in full. It was a very, very solid round. They lost a couple of players, but to trades. That was what caused them to, have those frags taken away. Pika as well, stepping up, found 3 kills by the end of the round?
Yeah, it was 3 kills, and just in really, really dominant positions. RMIT Black just never really got the chance to kind of challenge him, I felt. He was just kind of allowed to roam free. And so I feel like maybe if RMIT Black had actually put a bit more pressure onto him, they may have just gone away with a little bit more. But unfortunately, Pika, 3K, of course, and that was the end of the story for RMIT Black there. Back into our game now as we are just waiting on a pause, and we do believe that Owen has just announced to the world that he is taking a piss. But with that information aside...
it's all that Chatime that he's been drinking.
Yeah, right. First floor, meeting hall and kitchen.
Yeah, okay. There's a lot of people that do talk about this bomb site as preference, one side or the other. I know recently a lot of teams are prioritizing meeting just because dining is such a tenuous hold. Yes, you can get the vertical control from dorms, but then dining is just such a hard place to deal with. You lose control of small tower, they can get the vertical, you can deal with any breach denial that is on the board, you can then crack on into the site and get the plant down. So I understand why teams are opting more into meeting. So the call's back, Owen's done, he's ready to go. But Spud, coming into this, looking at the setup, we've got double down on that breach denial. Cade and the mute here in the pick phase, we could see that 6 picked off, but looking at what they're bringing to the table, this is a slow them down by any means we can, deny the hard breach, deny that entry in, and make them work to get onto the site.
Yeah, and especially with some of that those mute jammers clearing out some of the drones coming in, it's going to slow them down even more, just forcing them to really take their time and be careful about any roamers. And of course, roamers, we do know one. Pika, of course, that 3K last round, so it's going to work really well in conjunction with that information to know. Of course, Sonic's on his famous Goyo. He's done really well with it the last couple of times we've seen him, and those shields just being really great as well at providing cover for his team. So, with this new site, the tertiary site, of course, we'll have to see whether RMIT Black can win this one, because, of course, if they don't, that will be a full rotation of all the sites, and that's not a good way to start off this match.
Yeah, and it would give Monash Onyx the best momentum they could possibly ask for in trying to dethrone this RMIT Black team, and if they could do it, RMIT Black, back-to-back champions, now looking for their 3rd title in a row. If they could be stopped here, that'd be big ground gain for Monash Onyx, especially going into next semester, especially moving forward. Plus the accolade of, their university is the best Rainbow Six university in Australia. You can't sneeze at that.
Yeah, that's definitely something I would have liked to have won, but unfortunately, I'm just a poor man who does not play this game. So I can talk about it though, and talk about it I will. As we see, once again, this is kind of the small tower push, also a bit of effort on this big tower. In fact, most players stacked up on this big tower, looking to open up that attic. Again, a critical position here as Pika is holding it, and there's a lot of presence on that top floor from the defenders, so they will have to force him out in order to get any sort of control here.
And the other thing to take note of is this is kind of an honor grudge match here for RMIT Black. Recently, one of their other teams for the university had the chance to qualify for the global stage for Valorant, and unfortunately they missed out to a New Zealand university of all things. So unfortunately, their RMIT Black federation for Valorant didn't do it. RMIT Black here for Rainbow Six, they're the ones who are looking to take the title, give the university some redemption, try and bite back at the unfortunate loss that they suffered. But here in round 3, this is where they need to start stalling out that momentum, try and break the stride that Monash Onyx have developed here. Well, again, it's a case of they are taking their time, they're slowing things down, they are doing exactly as you would expect in approaching this site. Vince almost takes out Coach Owen. Unfortunately, not quite enough damage to take him down, but they're starting to chip away.
Yeah, they're starting to chip away, but they need to make things happen a little bit quicker here. Chipping away is not going to get them through here. They've just opened up this big tower wall, and that's less than half the time remaining on the clock here. And still so much utility up here to clear out, and of course, Pika himself here as well. So they're going to have to make things quick here because, you know, with so much utility and so many players on the board, it could be really damaging to an attack if they move in late.
Big Nitro cell, not quite deep enough to find the kill onto OJ, but it's damage that capitalized on later in the round. They are dealing with a situation where 45 seconds is all that is remaining on the clock. Owen drops down into the basement, spots out a drone, shoots it out. He's going to rotate all the way through Freezer. Vince is on the hunt, though. They're looking to try and capitalize however they can. Frag grenade thrown deep towards Pit. It's eaten by the AEST Pika, looking for the pixel angle, spots the head. NDB to fall. And they are just losing ground, losing players, losing such key momentum that they needed to win this round. Jin downstairs on the plant looking to get in, but the swing from Hao shuts him down on the stage door. That's Diffuser in a rather untenable position. Hao will finish off that kill, looking for more. He's get the kill on the Hydra. OJ answers back with the kill on Owen, but it's looking bleak here. Spud, there's only 2 players remaining. Yoda swings, Pika joins him, and Monash Onyx will complete the flawless rotation of bomb sites in commanding fashion.
I'm starting to think that this was not the play for RMIT Black here. They did choose to go into this Oregon map, but really questionable here. It is just tearing them apart. Monash just so much in control. You know, the pace from RMIT Black was just so slow at the start. I was just really concerned. And that really led, you know, of course, to the advantage being in Monash's side. They had those crossfires, they had that teamwork there. And RMIT Black just couldn't get the diffuser down. They couldn't get, you know, many picks either. It was just a mess to try and get into that kind of that tangle upstairs as well as down. So new rotation now, another 3 rounds to go. Hopefully they pick off some rounds here because otherwise this could really be slipping away from them fast.
I mean, it could be a case of this. Obviously, it's Oregon. This is sort of what you'd expect on a map like this. It does have a reasonably high defender win rate, 57.1% currently, 42% attacker win rate. So it's not like it's a complete blowout. There should be at least a couple of rounds that RMIT can find going into this, you know, the remainder of the half. But we do see that elbow extension down here on the basement hold, exactly as you would be expecting on a bomb site like this. They've got the Aruni, they've got the Jaeger. They are pairing all the tools they need to lock this site down. But Spud, look, RMIT are down 0-3 right now. 3 of 5 players have yet to find a frag, and it's just Jin and OJ with the 3 in 3 rounds.
Look, I have heard though from a little bird that RMIT Black are known for throwing, well, maybe not throwing, but not winning in a decisive fashion the first map. And it's happened before. They've lost 7-1 on Clubhouse and then come back to win 2-1. So, you know, this may not be the end of the story here. RMIT Black could come back, but I wouldn't want to be giving away that kind of position against a team like Monash, who just do so well. And once they take that momentum, could just steamroll with it to victory.
Yeah, I mean, at this stage, yeah, it's the one map they did lose was against UQU, so in the playoffs at the very least, it might have been a different case during group stage. It's a lot of stats to dig deep and find, but for the moment, they are looking in a dire spot for the moment. Hydra switched off the Jackal onto the Nomad. They're going to be a little bit more proactive about this flank watch. Try and shut down the pinches that we've seen come out very effectively for Monash. Pika, though, playing deep in the basement, not going to be playing that roam that we saw him in round meeting, around lobby in that last attempt on this bomb site. Playing a little bit more passively, but Spud, there's a lot of tension in the air here. Like I said, there's some big money on the line, win or lose.
Yeah, you definitely want to be on that first place and not that win, you know, that title for your team. But it looks like these guys are in no hurry to do so at the moment. In fact, they haven't even engaged. Minute and a half left on the clock, that's halftime. Never mind, Owen will be the first attacker NDP. That's the second time it's been that opening frag and still trying to push out that elbow player. However, Pika and Ahau on that cross. This is looking very, very difficult to get into this bunker big tower area.
They still haven't flushed out that utility denial either. There's ADSs, there's the shield still there. They're going to have to do a solid job of clearing things out, and Pika finds the follow-up Jin before frag grenades out of hand. They are dealing with both sides of the coin. OJ does get the trade, brings it back within one as he kills Owen. But it's a small consolation prize, honestly. They're going to start to march on. Does catch Onyx. That's a bit better now, opening things up so they can push it onto the site. Pika still playing around that boiler door. Might be the upset factor. How brings the man count back in favor of Monash Onyx. They're starting to string these together. Monash Onyx, they can't get complacent. OJ playing that boiler door from bunker. Might be able to find something. How's the one to contest? Doesn't quite go How's way, but they are playing the clock as well.
Yeah, 30 seconds left on the clock now and ticking down. And Yodapug, in fact, is actually upstairs. If RMIT Black aren't aware of this, this could ruin their attack completely. He hasn't quite seen anyone yet, but he's very close. Looking like the final push now. OJ lining up this shot, trying to get the one close, but I don't think he knows. Pika gets one, and Ahau makes it a second. Unfortunate there. OJ doing so much damage before clearing out that elbow, but just at the end, falls short as Ahau gets the kill and the round for for Monash, sorry.
Monash just storming on through. Like, I think I can understand maybe why this is happening. You've got 2 of 5 players on this team who play at the Oceanic Nationals. One of these players who plays all the way up in Apex South. Those are coming up. Those are just around the corner. In fact, I think, we're 4 days out from Apex South starting up again. We're 6 days out from OCN starting up again. So these guys are going to be hard in the practice with their own teams. Could mean that there's been less time to practice with the Uni League, and maybe that is what is upsetting them here.
Yeah, like we said earlier, RMIT Black, a lot of great individual players, but I have heard that they don't really play outside of their official matches, and this could be coming back to bite them in the behind. Onyx, on the other hand, they spend so much time scrimming. We all know that they're one of the hardest working teams out there in this tournament, and they, this could finally be it. This could be the year where they finally show their hard work paying off, and really, if they do that, props to them, because they really deserve it.
There's also it's the team with the least changes between seasons. They are running the same roster they ran last semester, minus Adam, who was having some minor issues, so he's not in the matchup today. But otherwise, it would have been exactly the same roster they brought last semester in the end of 2020. So it's a long-running dynasty that these guys have had together. Unfortunately, not able to take the championship, but it's only a matter of time, it feels. Interesting, though. Look, we're coming into round 5 here, Spud. How and Yodapug have yet to die.
I did not notice that, but looks like they will continue to live on there. That's going to be great for the KD for sure. When you have, we've heard of the special agent 007, but have you heard of his cousin, the 700? Maybe we'll see that soon. Owen now also in his famous position, holding those that master bedroom. No pressure underneath so far, so it looks like he's safe so far, but windows and doors starting to be opened up now. He is, however, supported by Ahau on those white stairs, so we'll be able to give a bit of support here as OJ starts looking to challenge and get this first contact.
Get themselves control. Vince finds the opener onto Owen. Hao just dancing around this armory door, spots the drone, shoots it out, trying to bait some shots, give himself all the info he needs, but we'll just pull onto the bomb site for now. Doesn't want to overaggress. Unfortunately, no 3-piece for Owen here. be stringing those together. I'm not going to be able to find much of anything here. Even Owen has to pay respect. Vince marches on in, gets into position to start contesting in towards the bomb site itself. Whereas OJ going to try and open up this walk-in closet. They lock that bomb site down, cut it in half, get in, secure that option for a plant in games. But for the moment, Pika downstairs 8-1-0 in the pinch in, looking to upset the momentum where he can, is still a real threat that needs to be dealt with.
No C4 to work with, but that's all he needs is that gun. He will be able to, if he takes out a player on the flanks, it could mean that he gets some more freebies, but he is being actively watched, not so much hunted, but watched. Axe Hydra is on this crosshair, and he's just holding that, waiting for Pika, but looks like Pika will be retreating back, and so is Axe Hydra. Wall has been open now, and they're starting to plan how they're going to execute onto the site.
Looking to open up those angles, they are starting to do the work they need to get themselves into fit. Yodabug finds himself in a bit of a tenuous spot. They lose the Vulcan shield on that attic door, but for the moment he's still alive. Can still look to make something happen with the utility available. 2 nitro cells in pocket to play around with here. But the call has almost been made for RMIT to opt into that trophy push. They're not going to be committing to attic, not going to be doubling down that position. They've got games opened as well. So this is the call. Jin trying to get himself in, just looking for any peaks, any angles, anything he can find. Walks in, looks to get himself in by the foos table, goes to that default plant. Hydra going to be tagged up, but for the moment, plant is going down. Yodapug spots OJ, finds 1, finds 2 onto Vincia, looking to shut it down. M590 out, but it's too little too late. Jin is going to get the plant down, finds 2 off the back of it as well. He's going to be traded out by Sconix in the end in a 2 versus 2 post-plant situation. Pika's still alive, looking to pinch in from Master, but look at that. On the rappel, looking to lock things down. It's NDB who finds a second. Gets Pika as well, and RMIT, after 4 rounds, finally get themselves on the board. X, unfortunately, has his kill stolen away, though.
And that, what a way to get their mark on the scoreboard there. Definitely a much-needed round there. Yodapug looked like he was going to clutch it up. He did manage to get those 2 kills, but unfortunately not quite onto the planet. And then, of course, all chaos unfolded as everyone was just shooting back and forth. But at the end of it all, when the dust settled, it was RMIT Black who came out on top with some slightly better positions. And, of course, Pika, having gone for a bit of a roam, a bit of a jog away from the site, ended up returning home to a site empty of his comrades and a bullet to the face as well. So maybe next time, come home a little bit early. You did have a curfew, and unfortunately, you missed it.
Well, we do see a bit of a change up here. Going to transition away from the setup that we had in the last round. No smoke. Owen going to be the one to pick up the mutant instead, and well, Yoda brings the Aruni into the fold. That was an interesting round. RMIT Black found the one glaring weakness in the defense of Monash. There was no one covering that cross into game. They didn't have any security in denying that plant. Well, Jin, massive frags off the back of the plant after losing 2 teammates. Blew the round wide open, gave them that security, the positioning they needed. Transitioned into a very, very solid round. Now we see the reattempt. Monash Onyx going to look to try and better themselves after that last showing on this bomb site. Maybe the Aruni is the operator to make it happen.
Yeah, definitely going to be really annoying denying some of this extra utility denial. Pika, of course, once again on the Jaeger, so they will be able to hold out, get some of these grenades. Once again, small tower push, so what we saw a couple of times. Axe Hydra looking like he's going to push from the basement. If there are any roamers. Pika, of course, was always a menace, and they never quite got to him until right at the end. So getting rid of him early would really help, you know, just consolidating the attack and making them feel a little bit safer.
First 30 seconds gone. We see Pika downstairs again. Going to be spotted by OJ. So they know that there is presence downstairs. Another drone I think I just saw coming in from that stage side of the first floor. So now they know. They have every idea that Pika is down here, and they're going to start to try and hunt him out and get him off the board if they can. But tagged him up a little. He's going to have the opportunity to rotate back towards meeting. Maybe even rotate through lobby. But look at this Hydra. Top freezer stairs, spots the drone being taken down. Can go for the scan should they need to. That Inox could blow this round wide open. It's a case of, you know, mute jammer positioning and Pika as well. Very much threatened, has been scanned. He's going to have to keep himself moving lest he find himself sprayed through one of those walls. He's going to be scanned. Oh my lord, that could have been a huge kill for NDB.
He is in a world of hurt here as he is being hunted from across the map, but RMIT Black haven't quite been able to get him, and AEL is looking to support him as well. And also, of course, this vertical control making it a little bit more difficult. But Pika, AEL, both on the bottom floor now, being hunted from all directions. And who will come out top? It will be OJ's takes one, but Pika answers back onto NDB. Now they're playing Ring Around the Rosie as these angles open up from all around. Pika, however, is going to be down, and OJ finishes that off with a second to finally take out the roamers.
Two players who are huge in their offsite presence in previous rounds shut down now. They only lost a sledge for it as well. Look at that Jin. Look at it play around a bullet hole in the double window. OJ going to be tagged up a little bit further. I think that may have been Yodapug who is playing around that pit attic position. OJ felled by Owen for two. Jin as well. I believe that was through the vertical. No, that was outside the double window. Both of them were there. Spray from Onyx as well. Through the hatch, takes down Hydra, leaves Vint in a 1v3 clutch situation. 35 seconds on the clock. He has to go big here. That's the pre-fire by the bunks. Nitro cell toss, but it is a little bit too far. Vint's able to skirt away. Knows where one is, but that is all he knows. There are lots of angles being covered here by Monash Onyx. I think this might be just a little bit too much to ask. Goes for the life, I forget what it's called off the top of my head all of a sudden, but look, he's going to find the concussion on himself just as the Saria gate gets open. The jump out from Small, and Onyx gets Monash a massive round to close out the half.
Wow, what a showing from Monash here. They're just looking so dominant and so in control of this game so far. Minus that minor slip up on that second floor. Of course, they did manage to win the second floor once again, this time off of a nice 2K from Owen. I mean, I was a little bit concerned when they were 2 players down off that roam, but they just managed to clutch it back so well and just left Vinny all by himself against the big window. There's just nowhere he could go. So it will be a side switch now as RMIT Black go onto this defense. Will Monash be able to continue this performance on attack as well, or will it just be a case of defender-sided meta? Well, guess we're about to find out.
I mean, it wasn't the craziest one-sided map in terms of Oregon. What was it, 42 to 51, I want to say. No, 40, no, sorry. Where is it? There we go. Oregon, 42, to 57. So it was probably one of the more even maps on the whole in terms of attack versus when sided. The most even one obviously being coastline at the end of the day, but we're not going to be going there. Hey, look, chill, Owen. Calm your roll. I believe Owen is a little bit upset that his drone was being chased out there. But basement setup, Mira in play. But look at this. We see the Lion and the Nomad coming out on the side of Onyx. They're looking to deal with this offside presence and shut it down early.
5 seconds to go.
Interestingly enough, Monash didn't have too much offside presence when they were playing on this bottom floor. I believe they had one player maybe the first time, of course Pika, and after that they were mainly stuck on that bottom floor. And of course, we'll never know because that first round we never really saw properly. So maybe they are preparing for something. They know what works, and so they are going to be setting up for it. But it looks like big tower take here, which usually signals a more traditional push through the bunkers.
Drone work is going to have to be very important here. They are starting to scout this utility. I want to be able to clear that out as early as possible. They don't have a smoke here for this elbow extension, which is odd. And Hydra, oh my lord, buddy, that was a... I mean, look, that is like Halloween, coming home to find both your parents dressed up as who knows what, and then getting the fright of your life. That is just not what you need for the heart at this stage in the competition. You're still in map 1. You don't need a fright like that, but Jin very lucky to escape with his life.
Yeah, Yodapug also taking a lot of damage. I think they were both equally surprised to find each other there. So, they say Siege is a horror game, but I guess we know why now. But once again, big tower pressure coming in. Vincia, however, will be the first to take out Pika, the star player, upstairs. So with these roamers, it's going to be very difficult. But it looks like one's watching him, and he will be taken down by Yodapug. Gets that refrag, a nice refrag as well, taking out the 2 MVPs of this match.
Yeah, losing Pika, unfortunate, but I think it's almost guaranteed by this stage. He's got all that utility down. Skodek, he's putting on a bit of a clinic on how to use Maverick to get these hatches open. He's been tagged up himself, looking to find any advantage they can glean here in this push towards base, but Jin, again, playing those very, very tight angles. Do see that Saria gate dealt with, so they can now get a little bit closer, threaten onto that tight angle. But for the most part, we're getting down to the final minute things. This is where, you know, it can come apart.
Yeah, that C4, if it lands, could really rip apart this attack, but it doesn't. Ahab still on those big cast stairs. R2 players challenging him though, and OJ will be able to get one on the Onyx. And that Lion drone might help, but it's not going to be enough. Jin with 2 kills, in fact, makes it a 4v1, and with Diffuser down, Ahab's left all by himself to get this. Will he be able to get one? If he starts with one, he might be able to make a few more, but 30 seconds left, and this is not looking good. Maybe it's just time to take a timeout and discuss with your team what to do next.
Goes for a couple of shots to bait out the push up the stairs, but no, I don't think RMIT are going to give it to him. OJ is pushing through meeting, and the pings are there, so they must have a drone. And head spotted, taken off. That's one. Needs to find 3 more. Well, that's the call. That's the trigger they need to get themselves to go for that push. Hal is almost going to concuss himself. Just able to duck around the banister, but gets swung on by NDB. And it is going to be a round picked up by RMIT to kick off the second half.
Yeah, a great opening round there. Definitely very much in control of that bottom floor. Just made it very, very difficult for Onyx to push into that pillar, that bunker area. They did have Ahau on those big tower stairs, but unfortunately, he wasn't able to push out any of those players playing around pillar. And ultimately, it was in that elbow area where the attack really fell on its face. Jin, of course, with that 2K onto the diffuser as well. So that is how that round went down, but they will be heading upstairs now, second floor kids' dorms. It will be that secondary site. And will we see the same kind of roaming style? Or will we see much more anchoring type of defense? Well, I guess we'll find out.
Interesting, we see the bandit picked up here over the cave. I mean, would maybe indicate they're just looking for a bit of extra coverage. I mean, what you're gonna get games, walk in closet wall, and then maybe you go for the pit position. I don't know, it's anyone's call, but it looks like at the moment they are setting that one up for Attic, looking to cut down the push from T3 and try and shut it down. But, I mean, it is a player-by-player call at the end of the day. If it's what you want to run, it's what you want to run. Hydra struggling a little bit in the fragging department at the moment. Luckily, does have both OJ and Jin who have stepped up to try and keep that momentum flowing through the team. On the other side of the coin, Pika, 9-1-3, picking up this flank patrol, has definitely dealt a few very crippling blows to RMIT. And they're looking to do it even more if they can.
Yeah, with that bandit play, it's going to be a little bit easier to kind of get those walls from beneath. So I'm wondering whether we're going to see RMIT Black put some players underneath, deny some of this, this soft breach, taking out those bandit batteries. And indeed, we do see Vinny downstairs as well as OJ, 2 of our star players here, roaming in a pair. I'm just denying some of that underside presence.
3 of them playing over towards this white stairs position. 1 goes down, 2 hit up. OJ, looking player on that window, does open up. Vince late, rotation being opened up. And Hal already tagged, trying to play below, trying to open things up so they can contest this game's wall. Yoda poke off on his own. It's a very spread approach to the map here on this side of the attack. Pika, try. So, Scottix, I have to ask, buddy, what is going on here with the mavericking? That is a risky move. They do finally get the opening so they can march on into Attic. They will shoot at the final battery as well. But those peak holes, that's a dangerous game to be playing.
Yeah, and if you guys know anything about the history of Monash and Maverick tricks, you will know that Maverick tricks have been a questionable aspect of Monash's gameplay. So hopefully it doesn't come back to bite them, but it will be a minute and a half left with all players still alive, so definitely a lot of killing to be doing. But walls have been opened up, and the pressure is starting to apply here onto RMIT Black, especially from this games and also that Attic area.
OJ, he's playing a dangerous spot right now. Only has limited coverage. If that shield goes, he's going to find himself in a world of trouble. 2 players positioned around Trophy. They have the angle opened up from Walken as well. I think OJ, yeah, he knows he's being threatened at the moment. NDB going to be tagged. X-Hydra playing the tight angle in pit, playing prone, being the frost mat. thinking like a frost mat. If he can find a kill, that would be huge. But this utility starting to be cleared out in the air. OJ makes the call. He says, I'm not safe here anymore. Pulls off the shield. Doesn't want to get caught out by his own utility. With 40 seconds left, it's still a fairly passive round. I say that OJ falls. Pika's the one to find it, of course, to hit double digits. X Hydra swings, finds a kill from his position, so that one will work out. His corpse does drop down the hatch. EE1D follows it up. Jin and Hydra find two more. NDB finds the third, and it's left to Hal. He will get one back, but the 20 seconds left on the clock, Spud, it's not looking good.
Yeah, once again, AEL finds himself all alone and facing off against the 1v3 odds with nobody around him to help out. And there's only 10 seconds left. He's once again separated from the diffuser and nothing much to do. He's kind of pre-firing, hoping that maybe they'll, I don't know, maybe they'll all run down the stairs and line up for him. But it will be another round for RMIT Black. Lose Jin at the end, but they do take out the round for a second defense round here.
It's interesting. We see the setup go very, very well for Monash. They get themselves in the right positions, they get all the angles open up, they get the utility down, and then it comes down to that desperate rush onto the site. The frags go the way of RMIT, which, I mean, you've got to back RMIT in that situation. The skill level just has to be that little bit higher given the players on the team, and they win it out. At the end of the day, Hal finds himself in that 1vx situation, which is not the greatest. Look, hey, he finds a couple of kills, but it's more to pad stats than anything, as we do now head to Meeting Hall. This is where we need to see Monash pick up around. If they can pick this up, they can get map point, they can give themselves some security. But if not, especially given that Vince is now bringing the Rook into the fold, this could be that march back, and we could see RMIT overtake Monash very, very soon.
Yeah, they had a 4-round lead, but 2 rounds have already been taken away. RMIT Black definitely chases up, and onto a 5-5 would be heartbreaking kind of position to be in for Onyx, of course, being on that 5-1 advantage at the start. So it will be the make or break here, as this is the final site in those 3-round rotations. And it's going to be the same site that Onyx have chosen as well. So they will know how it's being defended, and they will know how to attack it as well. Kaid is being brought here on the board, so it will make getting the hatch a little bit more difficult. As I expect Monash will be looking to challenge this from the vertical angles.
It's a bottom site that's how you have to kind of approach things. You need to be taking vertically, you need to be getting that control, so you can threaten onto the bottom site and give yourself some security. And going for that plant, again, we see a very spread approach from Monash. They're looking to cover as many bases as they possibly can, trying to get that coverage. Owen, this time picking up the ace, going for something a little bit different. But I'm very intrigued to see where Vince is going to be heading. That Rook, we have not seen a huge amount of it so far for the Uni League. Bits here and there, but it's one of those operators you can well and truly upset the momentum of things with that armor.
Yeah, seeing a player down and then coming back to life afterwards is something that you do not need. That extra gun can be all the difference here. Looking like a big tower push here, as they do look to challenge this top floor. Nomads as well, making sure that no flanks can come up from this kitchen area. But in fact, there's not many players actually on this side of the map, mostly focused on this big tower side as well. Both for the attack and defense, a lot of emphasis being placed in.
Playing around the soft floor and attic as well. It's a position that can be threatened quite aggressively, especially with this Maverick on the board. They've spotted it, so they know that there's a good chance that it is going to be contested from below. That Nitro as well. It's a very tight angle, but if you can hit it, definitely would take a couple of key players off the board. And yeah, Onyx, they're not willing to risk it at the moment. They're going to head on out to get themselves in a different way to try and contest this vertically. Pika playing the long angle stage hallway. It's a very dangerous angle to be playing with as little health as he has. Hydra goes to the pre-fire. Nothing found for the moment. And again, it's a very passive round. We aren't seeing these hugely aggressive gunfights that we saw in the first half. They're taking their time, clearing things out, making sure they have security when they go for that push.
Yeah, but the time could be what comes back to bite them last few times. Of course, we have seen them just run out of time, as well as also run out of players. But Axe will be first to take out Pika, who was already very low. NDB gets one, and it's a flurry of kills. Double kill from NDB, and 3-1 now. Once again, 1 player left. It's all up to Yoda, but he has to find 3 players. He's being pre-fired from all directions, and again, make that another one in order to win out the round for RMIT Black.
Another flawless rotation of sights here, this time for RMIT. To kick off the second half, we could see a 5-1 defensive half trade here in map 1 of this grand finals. RMIT Black back within 1 point of equalizing in the 10th. Spud, they have battled hard. The attack has just looked completely underwhelming on both sides, but only in comparison to how overwhelming the defense has been. We saw how that last round played out. Flurry of kills, all going the way of RMIT. Their fragging potential is just absolutely huge. The question now has to be, everyone's thinking it, what does Monash do to at least push themselves onto map point?
I think it's just a matter of aggression here and a little bit more confidence. They're a little bit... I feel like their play feels a little scared of what RMIT Black can bring, and maybe that's not such a good thing here. Maybe they need to be willing to take those risks and take those gunfights that, you know, has paid them really well in the past. You know, their aggression has really paid off against other teams here, and maybe this is just another case of, you know, doing that as well, not being afraid to take the fight to RMIT Black, because of course the onus is now on Monash to win this out with that, you know, those round advantages. So, you know, RMIT Black just need to play well and not screw up, whereas Monash really have to take that momentum as well, especially on the attack. But I guess we'll find out. You know, who knows? Maybe they need to be more careful, perhaps. But I don't think it's a matter of, you know, not enough drones. I think they've in fact been a little too slow.
Yeah, there's definitely, you could feel the hesitation coming out of Onyx these last few rounds. They're going in early like we saw out of RMIT Black. I mean, it was one of the things that cost RMIT Black as many rounds as they did. They were getting in aggressively, they were being shut down. Now we see the opposite. We're not seeing the aggression coming out of Monash. They're still being shut down because RMIT Black have so much ground to work with, so much time to get themselves in those positions to counter. And, well, now Onyx, they are accelerating things a little bit. They have control. That T1 landing, they're going to start to push on down. But again, it's about clearing out the utility in a timely fashion. No one pushing in from construction. OJ going to be left alone for the most part, but it seems the call's been made. Get in, get the hatches, and look to cover the vertical.
Yeah, once again, only one player roaming, and it will be Vinny, of course, the star player here. So I know that Onyx will be a little bit scared of that, but looks like it's just enough here to kind of start working these hatches. Crucial hatch here, opening up electric, does make pressuring pillars and of course a bunker a lot easier. But there are 4 players downstairs, so we'll definitely need to, you know, put a lot of pressure and a lot of manpower there in order to flush them out.
Well, they have cleared out that shield and pillar, so they can start to at least aggress into Boiler. Yodapug has made that call. He's headed over towards Con, but they still have no idea about Vince, who is playing in security, can look to pitch in later on in the round and really upset the flow of things, but it's how to find Hydra to kick things off. Bandit off the board, they get more control downstairs. Pika finds OJ as well. I have no idea where that was from. He was rotating up through Laundry, maybe into meeting as well. Gets found. How? For a second, takes down Jin. They get the trade-off. Vince is going to push in and find Pika. Pulls himself down, freezes stairs. Andy being a world of hurt right now. That Vulcan shield taking out 80% of his health. How walks in, finishes it off. Will find almost the full health bar of Vince. He gets traded out immediately. Vince not going to go down without a fight. 50 seconds left on the clock. A 1v3. Owen on the plant. EE1D goes off. And Vince will just have to hold himself for the moment.
1v3 against Vince, and he's already got 2 kills. Could this be another clutch ace? He tags one, but no, it will be Owen on the floor. It's prone win. The prone win proves to be too much for the Pro League player as he takes out RMIT Black, and for a match point here.
100% there is going to be a twit longer that comes out later on, and yeah, look, there's they're not, look, you got to admit they're not looking upset. They're having a bit of a chill time. Owen is very much dialed in right now. His cam's a little bit of lag fest at the moment, but he's sitting pretty happy. They're not too upset about how things go. Obviously, it's a university league. It's for fun more than anything. But Spud, we come into the 11th round, the 1 round away from full regulation time. Monash on map point here as we head to Dorms, which, I mean, you'd have to say was probably the most successful site for RMIT and their defense.
Yeah, RMIT really just doing so much damage onto the kind of very split up attack from Monash. Monash did open up that attic and also the game's wall and push through trophy, but unfortunately not able to get the plant down. Of course, there was also a lot of roaming presence there as well. So whether we'll see the same thing repeat or whether Monash will be able to take out that roam presence early and just have enough time to work with, I think that will be the make or break here. But they are 2 rounds ahead, so they do have a round to work with, and maybe it might force RMIT Black onto one of the other sites, the basement, which they just lost, or maybe the meeting dining hall, which might not be such a strong site as well. So definitely could go both ways, but Monash looking so close, and they don't want to blow this because this could be, their first map.
Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb and defuse it.
Yeah, it's still hard to call RMIT out of this map just yet, but it is a situation. 2 rounds they need, 2 rounds where they cannot afford to make a single mistake. So maybe they can do it, maybe they won't. This round will be integral in however this map does play out. Obviously, Monash 1 round away from closing it out, taking us to Chalet, which is then their map pick. How? Double digits on the board for him as well. Monash really just have been storming on through this map, looking to absolutely take it to RMIT. But RMIT, they are being clever. They're being sneaky almost in the way they're approaching this defense.
Yeah, interesting. This time they've actually got 4 players hunkered down on that site, and just Jin all by himself roaming. So last time it was a roam which did a lot of damage, but maybe this time it won't be. In fact, forcing Monash to waste their time kind of looking for these roamers could prove to be the end. But looks like Conceal will be helping out. Now Jin, under a lot of pressure, starting to fall back, almost gets taken down. He will be, as Yodapug finds the first to open it up.
That's rough, losing Jin, who, has been pretty key in some of the off-site plays. Those late round flanks, and they are looking to clear things out as well. Gone 6 used. I believe that was in the hands of Yodapug. I think he's the only one here in this roster that can run it anyway, but the drones have to be on point. They need to spot out these players. Last time we were here, it was just the crossfires that were established to deny any chance at Onyx getting themselves into the site in a meaningful way. Hydra playing around top white stairs. They've lost control of Attic. They're losing control of games. They're losing so much ground so early into this round.
Oh, Vinny just misses that shot, almost takes out Ahal, but Ahal will get away with his life, and now Vinny forced to retreat. NDB, however, will be taken out by Sonics on that rappel, and that's 3v5 now. No refrags or answers back on towards Monash, and if this continues, I think this could be Monash's round.
Bomb located
We
by
have to see something huge out of the 2 Oceanic Nationals players here for them to try and bring this one back. K-Claw throwing to try and counter. Pika gets swung on, but OJ takes some big damage as well. They deny the opening of that walk-in closet. A well-timed K-Claw there coming out of OJ, but they're still swindling up the greatest. Bin does pinch in from behind, find one. OJ finds another, but the trade is there immediately. Hydra falls to Yodapug, and the plant will be going down. They know that Ben Sera is downstairs. He's going to have to run straight. Zulu, the drone's there, the EE1D. This is all but over. RMIT Black have to pull something huge out of the bag to win this one.
But if then it will be Vincere. We've seen him do it before. Can he do it again? He cannot. Yodapug takes out the kill and the round and the map for Monash. That is the first map in Monash's favor, and this, of course, is RMIT Black's map. So, going into the next one, Monash on their map pick, on a map that not many people have seen. Could this be it? Could this be the year? Could this be the season Monash finally takes that title? Who knows?
Out of Monash,
Yeah.
they
Thanks for sticking.
look. They took it. They won it. That was a very, very solid one. But look, Jackie, we can talk about it all we want, but it's not our job. We have some wonderful analysts who will be getting ready to break down that map a little bit further. But look, map 2, Chalet, it's a Monash's pick. They're going to be coming in fight up. They are 1-1 in the playoffs. Well, we'll send it on over. Jackie and Cthulhu, you can break that one down. We'll see you guys back soon for map 2, though.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the grand final for AEL first semester of 2021. Cthulhu and Jackie are still on the microphone. Jack, we've had a interesting, to say the very least, matchup on Oregon where it was Onyx that ended up taking the dub. What's the first kind of impression, first thought that both of us have so far?
Sorry about that.
Slight
My
technical.
microphone was muted. So yeah, what I
Yeah.
was gonna say is that at least on Oregon, we were seeing a bit of a unexcited game starting off, and then RMIT were able to take a couple of those rounds back. So not sure if that is just a defense side on Oregon map thing, but it seemed like RMIT really did put some effort in near the end, and they were able to get 3 rounds. But Onyx still just a bit too strong on that map in general.
Yeah, look, Onyx definitely showed quite a solid amount of preparation. I mean, there's a reason why they have a really good Oregon. They've been having quite a good set of succession on the performances on their dubs throughout the whole season. And look, yeah, at the moment this is looking very solid for them. They have even it seems like their mental side has been sorted. Them getting the such just successful amount of just openers as well during the rounds and getting those frags very comfortably definitely shows that yeah, look, they are ready. They got their mental sorted. On the side of RMIT, things are still some questions left unanswered. So quite possibly Chalet could be the one. We did actually hear, I believe you mentioned and production mentioned that Chalet was actually only played by Onyx previously. Care to maybe mention some of the stats there?
Yeah, so Monash has been the only team who have played Chalet once versus Monash Platinum, which they won against, and also once against QUT, which they lost in, and that was actually the match that dropped them to the lower bracket. I believe that was the first playoff game. So it's a bit of a mixed result from Monash. We're not 100% sure how this might go, but RMIT, they're completely unknown. They've not played this map at all during the playoffs, so quite possibly they could be saving some strats here and could be seeing some very interesting plays on this map.
Definitely. Look, well, without further ado, let's actually throw over to our wonderful casters. Panda, Spudoom, take it away.
Welcome back. Coming into game 2, Spud, we saw Monash able to eke out the victory there. They took it to RMIT on their own map pick. Now we go to Chalet, which has been nigh untouched until the playoffs. It's an interesting map, one of the only map with an attacker-sided win rate that is coming into this. What are you predicting coming up?
Look, I think we're going to see an 8-6, but on whose way, I'm really, really not sure. I mean, we have mentioned that Onyx have the benefit of actually having played this, but of course, RMIT Black, they've got a lot of great players. I think a lot of these players will have prepared for Chalet in, scrims and maps, their games at other levels, so they will know how this is going to go down. They do know how Chalet works. So whether it's going to be the coordination from Monash or whether it's going to be RMIT's kind of knowledge and gun skill, it's anyone's guess, really.
Well, I mean, the one map they did lose it was against QUT. It did go to overtime. They ended up dropping 8-6 when they came up against Monash Platinum. So it was 7-3. So it was a little bit more one-sided in that matchup. So they were able to close that. It is still a reasonably unknown entity in competitive spheres. Some teams are bringing it. You're looking at the North Americans that are really, really going to it. We've seen a lot in the likes of OCN and APAC South. So it's not like we haven't seen it, but these teams, dipping down towards tier 3, these collegiate competitions, teams are still a little concerned when coming into this map. We are probably going to see some slightly off-center picks, some slightly strange play. We've already seen the Lion come out, which, I mean, I say it's weird, but has seen a huge amount of play in the last couple of months. It's almost a staple in a lot of competitions in that sort of that flex role. So I'm definitely keen to see what we get on the side of attack. How do we see that prioritization come through? And what do the bands sort of flesh out as?
Yeah, and of course, you have mentioned that it is attacker-sided. And speaking of which, it will be Monash who are going on the attack first. RMIT Black, of course, did pick the defense. So I'm not sure what to make of that. I think RMIT Black just might be more comfortable, as most teams are, on the defense, and not so much looking at the stats. But if the stats hold true, we could see actually Onyx take it away in the first half once again, as we saw them do previously. Of course, RMIT Black won't be counted out so early. They did manage to pull off almost a comeback in that last map. But, we'll have to wait and see because, as I mentioned, anyone's guess here. So, Bands, any predictions here?
I'm assuming that we're probably going to see Thatcher and Maverick come out. We're probably going to see that Thatcher carry on.
Yep.
If we don't see one of those too bad, I think it might even be the Thatcher that is let through, just because you want to get Maverick off the board. He just enables so much on this map. Thatcher, it's easy to deal with. There are ways you can play around it. It's one of those maps where it's not total end of the world situation if you let a Thatcher through. Maverick, it can be a little bit more impactful, especially on that basement bomb site, which, I mean, yes, it is probably the least played of all the bomb sites at their high-level competitive environment, but it's one that does more often than not go the attackers if it is played.
Yeah, in fact, it's really strange because, before the rework, of course, Chalet, that bottom floor was the most popular, but now that it's been reworked, everyone is preferring those other sites, those top floor sites, especially those middle floor sites. You can actually extend onto that top floor as well and kind of fall back as you go. So it does give you more defense in depth and more flexibility with how you want to play. And of course, that library area, that mezzanine area, is kind of now the key focus of a lot of teams' defenses and a lot of where we see a lot of contact and a lot of fighting. So, whether these teams will indeed just let the Thatcher through because it's just not as useful, we could see that. But in fact, I think RMIT Black or Monash, one or the other, they've always banned Thatcher. It's just a very staple kind of ban, and maybe they just choose to go with something they're comfortable with.
Yeah, I mean, it's such an interesting map. It's almost more condensed than any. Actually, no, I'd have to say it is. It's more condensed than any of the other maps in the competitive pool. You're looking at these very high intensity gunfights that are going to be playing some standard positions that you're going to look to hold. Those library stairs, 9 times out of 10, if it's not a basement bomb site, you're going to be holding that with a shield with a huge amount of utility denial in the form of ADSs and magnets and all the rest of it. So it's about how you extend those offsite presences. Traditionally, the rotation is you go, office master first, you then head to games, you then head to kitchen or basement, depending on how your team is feeling, how the setups are, how the strategies are developed around it. You go anyway, but we're jumping into it. Spud operator bans could determine the momentum of this map. RMIT Black are up first with their ban phase. What do we see? Valkyrie is a huge impact operator on the defense. The likes of Amira could even come through. There's so much ban potential in this map.
Yeah, you see, just so. Okay, never mind. We spent ages talking about how Thatcher isn't the end of the world, but looks like RMIT Black were listening. They didn't, they just wanted to prove us wrong, and it will be Thatcher taking off the board. Very original, but who would have predicted? And Onyx, once again, the Ash looks like it's a bit of a target ban. I think they may be looking at Vinny here and saying, "Yeah, no, we're not letting that through."
It won them it last time, so
apparently it's working.
It's not like it didn't win them the map, so I can understand why this works. It also works very, very well on this map as well. Anyway, there's so much utility that you'll need to clear. Ash is so integral in that. There is a certain amount of verticality that comes into it, but Echo, that is an interesting ban. I have seen it played a little bit on this map, but again, it's one of those. It's not the be-all and end-all of a map like Chalet.
Yeah, especially ever since his drones became visible, we just haven't seen much of him at all. In fact, he usually gets through the ban phase unscathed. Just really, really strange that they have chosen this. But maybe they know. Okay, they definitely know something we don't. But RMIT Black will be banning that Goyo. Goyo did so much damage in that previous map in the hands of Sonics. And of course, with those power positions we mentioned, mezzanine and the top of library stairs, Goyo could really be the make or break for those positions. So no surprises there that they have chosen to remove him from the play.
Well, coming into it, Bar Gaming, it seems, is the bomb site of choice to kick things off. This one, it's an interesting one, especially with Maverick left on the board. You can actually, if you get control of base, but if you push up those fireplace stairs, you can actually open the bottom of that stock wall with a Maverick. Somehow, he is tall enough, so you can actually contest that, lock it down, that rotation potential between the bomb sites, be a real threat, locking that down, getting the utility through. You can't quite jump up it, but it's enough to cut off the rotation. Opens up games that little bit more. So definitely could be a place to watch if they do look to bring it in later on in this map. But at the moment, they've got themselves set up. They've got a little utility. Frag grenades galore coming through here on the side of the attack.
Yeah, definitely going to need that vertical presence as well from Sonics on the sledge. Will be able to open up a lot of vertical angles. That's kind of two places you want to be working. As you mentioned, that basement and girding up that fireplace stairs to cut off that connecting corridor. And of course the top floor, which is why we see, of course, NDB and another player reinforcing and just doing a setup here. Speaking of setup, we do see the Frost map. I am very keen to see Frost. This is one of those maps where we do actually see Frost being played a lot.
5 seconds remaining.
She's got a huge play rate on this map, so not surprised at all with that. The Mozzie, I do rate it as well. Cutting down on that information, which has been so key. The drone placement out of Monash, I definitely think caught RMIT unawares. They weren't anticipating that level of preemptive information gathering, but coming into this, we're starting to get towards, the building, looking to get themselves up and on that second floor. Interesting, though, we see a couple of changes on roles when it comes to the defense of RMIT. Vince picking up the Jaeger, OJ on the Whammy, these hard-hitting fraggers. These Tier 1 ANZ teams looking to frag out here in map number 2 of this competition, but maybe Solarium is the call that has been made to get themselves in the building first.
Yeah, definitely the standard kind of approach here. Going through that north side, they do have a player watching underneath from Trophy, and they will be going through those windows. So nothing too fancy at the moment. We do see this quite often, but it's what they do next after that, because they will need to push through that office and start taking that library area, which is, of course, where so many players are stacked up.
They want to get their vertical control, start to push in towards the bomb site, but look at these cameras. The Valkyrie is so impactful in a lot of these defensive setups for a number of teams, and it's already enabled OJ. He's found one from the top library stairs as Yodapug pushed in. They knew he was coming from start to finish. They knew he was outside, was able to swing onto that window. That's such a power position too for an attacker. If you can lock down that window, you lock off the rotate from library. My lord, my brain just turned off for a second there, but it slows down the momentum, and Monash to lose out on the EE1D in the hands of Yodapug as well, that's devastating.
Being a little bit unsure where to go now, as they do know that this player is at the top of library stairs and in a very strong position. He is backed up, of course, by Vince here, holding at the top of the mezzanine stairs, but the flashbangs and grenade will go out. Doesn't quite catch OJ, but enough to force him back. Vince now looking for that long angle, does get one. He downs him, but AHAL manages to save his teammate's life and gets him just in the nick of the time. But a minute left now, and they still have yet to kind of work their way on the side.
It's the power of the recoil change that was given to the 416. OJ still undeterred from top library, but how? He's going to find himself a second. It's Hydra to fall. And again, gives Monash that man count advantage. They've lost the Mozzie. They've lost the Jaeger as well. 2 key guns. Jin with the MPX does trade back on the helm. Takes out this real threat player. Brings the man count back even. With Owen low, they have the advantage now.
Yeah, this top library stairs position just paying so much dividends here. Pika will be looking to challenge him as Jin manages to take out Owen, but he does take out an answer back, and now it's 2v2, 2 players left on the site. No, sorry, 1 at the top of library stairs, 1 left on site. But OJ is starting to worry now, as he will be seeing a player downstairs, but time is ticking short now, and Onyx will have to start pushing. He looks the wrong way, expecting OJ falling back. 2v1 now, and it's all up to Pika. Can he do this? He cannot land a single shot. He does 1v1, but he doesn't have diffuser, and it will be OJ to shut him down for RMIT Black's first round.
That was a hectic, chaotic gunfight to round things out. The entire round played out that way, and OJ, he's happy. Couple of dip potato chips there to round things out, looking to pick up a big round, looking to ride the momentum off of this one, hoping to string together as many as they can. Interesting, they've gone from first floor, they're traveling horizontally towards kitchen and dining. This is another bomb site that plays heavily around the verticality. You need to keep control of office if you are to have success on this bomb site. You lose it, you lose the site, you lose the chance at denying the plant.
The great thing about kind of defending on these top floors is that it does allow you to kind of fall back, as we have mentioned. You know that the attackers have to push onto that top floor to get that vertical control. So you can hold from upstairs, challenge them as they come in, and then fall back slowly. And by the time they start worrying about executing onto site, there's just not enough time for them to kind of drone you all out and work their way in as well. So definitely really strong holds we've seen from RMIT Black. They're playing off-site, they're playing those power positions, those library stairs and mezzanine, doing so much damage. And, you know, it's all up to Onyx now to kind of work a little bit faster and get them out of there earlier so that they do have time to go for that execute at the end.
15 seconds left in the prep phase. RMIT have one under the belt. They want to string together a few more if they possibly can. OJ off the back of a big three-piece again. Kick things around. Two maps in a row. We've now had first round of the map where a three-piece has been picked up. First for Owen, now for OJ. It's a battle of the O's, it would seem. Coming in, Spawn. Peak goes very wrong for Vincier. Onyx gonna take out the Jaeger, punishing him for his audacity in this play. And again, Monash take themselves a big advantage to kick things off.
RMIT Black getting a little too cocky after that first round. Definitely paid the price for that, as Vincier, one of the star fraggers here, is taken out early on. And no answer back, no damage even taken on Monash's side. Definitely a great start. But Jin will be looking to answer back now as he challenges these north windows from the stairs. It's going to make rappelling in very difficult, and the player underneath to help him as well. Looks like they won't be going in here at all as Jin indeed takes out one, but answered back quickly.
He was expecting the first one, not the second one. Pika able to capitalize and keep that man count in their own advantage. How? On the deep roam downstairs, looking to clear out this offsite presence as he pinches through the basement. Hydra playing offsite, floating just a little bit. NDB and OJ playing in the bomb sites on either side. Hydra looking to team up, get back in to provide some support now that NDB is being threatened. E1D out. How down below, playing this basement hatch rather aggressively. So Monash, I mean, they are making good ground in this second. Can they keep it going? Yoda, he's in West Main. He's looking to push in, but it's how to find the kid on NDB from below, punishing him very aggressively. OJ keeps things going, still deathless so far in the map. It's going to be tagged up. Not hugely, though. They look to dual swing it, but it's Hydra to steal that frag away, and that's the power of numbers. Pika does find that for OJ in the end, so they do get it down, and Hydra down in a 1v2 situation. Sees one, goes to spray, takes the head off of Pika, but there's a minute 5 to play here, Spud. All of a sudden, it's a waiting game.
1 minute, diffuser on the other side of the map. The attackers have time to work with, but they do not have the diffuser. This is back and forth. Now, Axe Hydra just needs to play carefully here. He does have that advantage, but ping's coming out now. They know roughly where he is, but I'm sure there's going to be information coming out from Axe Hydra's side as well, looking for this ping. Sees a ping, doesn't quite get him. As following these stairs, does he quite catch him? He's just hidden behind it. You can hear, you can almost feel the heartbeats here. They're just waiting. Oh, and it wipes. No, not like this. As Ahab takes the initiative, but loses it.
They trade, and in those situations, it always goes to the defense. RMIT Black just skating out there with the win by the skin of their teeth. That was far too close for comfort, I think.
Yeah, if anything, that was definitely on Monash to win there. They did have the good positions there, but of course, that beautiful double swing and a great gunplay did even out to 1v1. I was afraid we were going to be waiting here until the last seconds, but looks like Monash decided to take the initiative, but unfortunately did not take that round there. As RMIT Black, 2 rounds, looking to make it a perfect perfect rotation as they go onto that second floor site. No basement, it will be the master bedroom office site.
Master bedroom and office. This is a powerhouse site. You can set it up with so much defense. Without the Thatcher on the board, it becomes a game of verticality. You have to go down through fireplace, open things up from below if you want even a chance to get that wall open on the mezzanine. They have an ace. That's all they have in terms of the hard breach. And look at this. The aggressive setup by the half wall and office. They're looking to play around that smoke. They want to contest those long range angles. Not to mention the Jaeger and the Aruni that they have on the board. They are looking to contest Monash as much as they possibly can.
Yeah, hopefully they just don't do it a little too early, as we did see Vincier lose his life a little, unfortunately. But it looks like they will be a little bit smarter this time, as RMIT Black are holding down onto site. one player downstairs as well on that roam. Drones coming out now, looking to start working their way into the building, just kind of figuring out where the best place to start their attack.
Well, it's a NDB is just chilling in the spa tub, just getting himself nice and warm up here in the French Alps. Hydra again playing around the basement, the deep roams that we have seen come in. To play off that information they do have available to them. OJ on the Valkyrie. Those cams already have proved a huge deterrent for this Monash team, slowing things down because the information, they have been able to translate them into some big kills, namely onto Yoda in that opening round. But it just keeps them guessing. No IQ means that they have to physically spot out those cameras if they want to deal with them. And you can see how much time is being wasted on this droning. Monash want to be sure that they can go in for that push without being punished.
Yeah, the Valk was banned last map, so we didn't see its full effect here, but it looks like it was unwise to let this through here, as Monash definitely suffering from that extra information that's being passed to RMIT Black. They do have started to work their way underneath, so it is a good start, but they haven't been up. Still need to find any picks onto this top.
It's also a case of there is actually no breach denial, so they don't need to go below to clear it out. Jin finds the opener. Yoda hug again to fall, unfortunately. That's rough. The E1D has already proved to be an absolutely influential asset to the team. They can't do much. Well, they can do a lot without it, but definitely speeds up that process, gives them that security to go for this aggressive pushes. Howl looking to push up Fireplace, but Onyx finds the trade back. Hydra in a bit of trouble as he crouches through the library. Nitro Cell returns, takes down. Oh, and that's their hard breach gone. Now Hydra finds Howl as well. It's all coming apart at the seams here for Monash on the most attacker-sided map in the comp pool.
Yeah, everything just seems really kind of split off and disjoint, not, lacking kind of that coordination and that, that cohesiveness that they showed on Oregon, especially on the defense here. Would like to see them, kind of bring that same energy back, as it's a 2v4 now, 20 seconds, and looking like definitely an RMIT Black round once again.
It might be a case of play the time, talk with the team, figure out what you're going to be doing going into the next one, maybe pick up a frag or two on the way out. But no need to force it. There's only so much you can do. Pika just dropped by the M590. NDB gets on the board. Hydra with his second of the round. And 3 rounds in a row go the way of RMIT Black here on the map 2. They pulled it off in the second half of Oregon. They've now pulled it off in the first half of Chalet. But is that an indicator of maybe this could be the first time we see Chalet being defender-sided? And if Monash can get a couple of rounds here, they could finish it up in map 2.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, we just don't have that information here available for us to really decide. We've seen this so little in this particular league. It's kind of hard to predict how this will go, and maybe Monash didn't quite expect it to go this way either. They did bring this map as their pick, and right now they're looking at 3-0 on the scoreboard. So, they're really going to have to step it up and just show us why they picked this map. You can't just rely on being on the defense, because that's not going to be the case here.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
Well, I mean, if this momentum carries on, they're going to be 1 and 2 on this map as we go into the decider. But we're still early days here on Chalet. It's still only round number 4, and, well, they are going to be going back to where things started off here. Back-to-bar games, back to that setup with the Frost map involved, and well, we saw things rapidly go down for Monash when they approached this bomb. So RMIT, they're looking to double down.
Setting up. 10 seconds insertion.
Once again, they're going to be holding those power positions on those library stairs, and also in library with those frost mats, just making it very, very difficult to kind of push those players there. I do expect that we will see Monash go through that northern side of the map again. So once again, Yoda Poke has already spawned there. So maybe RMIT Black will choose a challenge more early on, or kind of let the defense attackers kind of funnel in and then pick them off later with the roam.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting approach that we have seen out of Monash previously. They do go for that very, very spread attack, looking to cover a couple of bases where they can drone out here and there. It's not that full, you know, staggered approach that we see out of a number of teams. But Onyx going deep with this Gemini, looking to clear out this top floor. Late reinforcements coming out. Will they be able to get those audio cues if they figure it out? They do spot the player in that library hallway. OJ very much convinced there and goes to the pre-fire towards master bedroom door. Not going to find anything for it. It was Howell looking to contest. Monash, they are slowly marching in so they can get that vertical control underway.
Yeah, this very much reminds me of Villa, where you kind of start from the opposite side of the map and kind of work your way across and then down, especially if you're looking at the kitchen dining side. But it's a lot of time wasted here, and another player, Yodapug, once again, first of all, Onyx shortly after as well, 5v3 now, and not much to answer back from Monash. So once again, Monash looking like they're kind of running out of momentum.
I'm sorry. I just find that funny. So, last time we saw games and bar, OJ found a kill onto Yoda on that same position. So both times he's been punished there. This time though, Vince is going to find the second onto Owen. And again, they've lost hard breach. They've lost so much important utility on the side of Monash. RMIT are looking to bring it to that decider.
Yeah, definitely never count them out early. They may have lost that first map. Like they're in such good control here. 5v1, looking almost like a flawless. It's all up to Pika now. 4 and 3 scoreboard, but we're going to see how this goes. He almost gets one. He gets taken low though, and with so many crosses, he's got to be careful. Yeah, will end it out though. Flawless round for RMIT Black. And what a way to do it.
And it's interestingly RMIT to call the pause here as we stop just shy of round number 5. So far, yeah, look, we've had a call for a restart. Some minor tech issues, some minor ping issues. We were seeing some evidence of that. So hopefully that will be sorted in due time. Spud, RMIT are just storming through this map.
Yeah, definitely a different RMIT Black from, you know, when they were first attacking on Oregon. It looks like it just takes them a little bit of time to warm up. They, of course, on their defense on Oregon, they did very well, almost bring it back to a comeback. And here on this defensive half, wow, they are just in control. Monash look like they're running out of answers. It just looks very confused, kind of disjointed approach. RMIT Black looking very solid in how they're holding onto that site. And also this map, great map control. And Onyx really need to find a way to kind of push those weak points and get a foothold onto this map if they want to challenge any further, because so far it's just not landing.
Well, you can see the tense faces as we wait for things to get sorted on this tech pause. At the moment, RMIT have picked up what even see that 5-1 come into play. And the way things are going, I would be surprised if we saw Basement come out before the second half. Games is working for RMIT. Kitchen is working. Office is working. Yes, some of these rounds have come very, very close, but you can see the power in their setup is well and truly upsetting this Monash attack.
Yeah, definitely with that kind of mental momentum that they've built up from clutching so close rounds, and they're just kind of being in such good control. You know, there's no point just, you know, throwing a spanner in your own works, so to speak. Definitely Basement, they just haven't tried it. Whereas with these other two, of course, they won it in a very convincing fashion as well. So definitely not worth the switch, in my opinion. But it is RMIT Black. They are another level above us, us poorly Siege players. So, you know, who knows? Maybe they will choose it.
I mean, look, there is potential for it coming into the final couple of rounds of the half, but there has been, one round where it has been Monash with the player count advantage going into the final. And it was that, I believe it was that hold on Kitchen. It was X-Hydra in the 1v2. He found the kill on a Pika, brought it down to the 1v1 versus Hal, and they ended up trading, resulting in the win. So at the moment, just all the momentum is in the hands of RMIT. They're not looking to slow up. They're looking to ride this one out. They want to take us to that decider and get themselves a shot at redemption, another shot at the title here. You got to wonder what is the comeback tool that allows Monash to get back into this map.
You know, Monash have definitely come from, you know, a position where that wasn't favorable, of Of course, they were in the lower bracket for a long time. They actually lost out in the first playoffs. So they've been on the verge of elimination for the entire playoffs, pretty much, apart from that very first round. And of course, they have been able to come back from that. They've taken out, the other Monash team. They've taken out QUT and UQU, both really, really great teams, some great players. So they have the mental fortitude and they have the strength there to do it. It's just, whether it will be enough against kind of the skill of these RMIT Black players, who of course have won 2 seasons in a row and looking to make it a third. It's going to be really, really tough for them. It's definitely an uphill battle for them, and one that I would say favors RMIT.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's a case of they are rolling down the hill with some fairly solid momentum, and their trajectory is very much on point to pick up this map. But this is the most attacker-sided map in the competitive pool so far for the University League, with an overwhelming 57% on the attack, which is more than we see for most maps. But everything is coming up defender-sided here on this RMIT defense. They are just pulling out all the stops well and truly. Their roams are so clean. They are catching out these players on the flanks. RMIT, they have lost a couple of gunfights purely to trades because Monash are playing that 2v1 style of approach and getting into the building, and it has worked for them a couple of times, but there's just these key weaknesses that are being let through, and a lot of it is riding on just how influential these Valkyrie cams are, getting that early information, giving they need to then transition into those contested gunfights. So maybe an IQ is even worth bringing to the fold.
Yeah, so far we haven't actually seen IQ being brought at all. We haven't seen it this map and also the previous map as well. So I really don't know how that plays out in the hands of Monash or even the hands of RMIT. We don't even know if anyone plays Valkyries too much on the part of Onyx. So, whether they'll choose to bring out the same tools and, hit RMIT Black with the same hammer, we don't know yet. But we will have to go to a short break now, as we do have a bit of a technical boo-boo, as they call it, and we will be back shortly.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are here. We've got the issue sorted. It required a full rehost. We had to get everyone out. We had to get everyone in. Then we had some lobby bugs. It is what it is. It is Ubisoft. Unfortunately, things don't always work out the way we'd like. Spud, we are back. We're going to be going straight into round number 5. Rotation of balls coming out of RMIT. They even picked up games for the second time flawlessly coming at round 5. Do you reckon they can ride the momentum to the finish line?
Well, that was definitely a bit of a break here, but I know RMIT Black definitely no strangers to not having the momentum and bringing it back. So definitely, I think RMIT Black can do this, but I think it will also help Monash a lot. They just get that time to kind of, step back, think things over, and just kind of look at where they've been going wrong here, because so much has been going wrong for them. 4-0 in that first half on an attacker-sided map they picked. Just not a good position to be in.
Well, we are going to see Basement finally come in. OJ was hovering the Kavira. 6 picks it out for a clash instead. So definitely keen to see how they're going to look to implement this. This can be hugely influential around blue, even towards that car garage as well. But the setup coming in hard and fast. They're looking to lock things down. No Cade, just the mute coming through to lock down the snowmobile wall. But they've also got the Mozzie, so huge amounts of information. And plus that Valkyrie, they're just going to be playing with all the info in pocket.
Yeah, we have mentioned how influential this Valkyrie has been this entire game. This entire map, just really one of the key stars here, and especially with that extra help from the Mozzie drones. And still, once again, no IQ being brought. Monash need to do something different, or at least try to counter the Valk in some way, because so far it's just been ripping them to shreds, and they have no answer for it.
Again, Monash very wary of the threat of a spawn pick, although I think Vince, after his initial attempt, has learnt his lesson, not going to be going for it again. But how? Look at him. He's just straight on in, looking to push through from car garage down to the basement hallway. Set up potentially around West Main stairs. That Hydra rotating in. Looking to try and pinch, trying to catch someone out if they can. OJ is going to be a huge problem, I think, here for Monash.
Yeah, that is going to bring so much intel, and especially with Axe Hydra on the roam there, it could really tell him what the best time is to come onto these flanks. And I think we might be seeing the second player there as well. OJ actually taking off his shield. That's it. Some BM there. Axe Hydra will be ready to catch up this player. Well, this here is close to the max.
Could you imagine if OJ had died in the process of putting down that barbed wire? Like, talk about mental just down the drain. But at the moment, didn't happen. There's still all 10 players in play. Vince locking down Dining, has Hydra in support from Kitchen. But they've got no guaranteed way to open up this wall just yet. They have to deal with the mute jammers, they have to deal with the Nile. There's Splash going deep. It's going to mean OJ can't quite see for the moment, but again, no follow-up, no real aggression to play around it. Frag grenade is going to mean that they can start to open up this wine wall, but for the most part, it's still very tentative in their approach.
Yeah, I do like the fact that they have got Yoda Pug and also Pika holding this flank here, so they won't be hit from this area. Of course, those Nomad air jabs also coming into play here. Vincia has now fallen back, so it's all up to Axe Hydra upstairs by himself. And with that pressure coming on, looks like the clash has fallen back as well, but 50 seconds left on the clock. So this has been a lot of time wasted as well. Just in terms of getting Monash just takes so much time in order to get into the site.
They're going to open up red as well, which forces OJ even deeper into the site. EE1D there as well. They've got a lot of angles to cover now. OJ not nearly as secure as he was moments ago, as all these lines of sight now being established for Monash. They have avenues into the bomb site. They have the tools. Hydra, the first to fall at the hands of Pika by Mudroom. They're going to be able to march on down to Blue, get some control on the other side. On the other bomb side, but Vince is just going to Tokyo drift around the corner, takes the head off, looking to clear things out even further. Onyx pushes in, finds Jin, but it's NDB to answer back with a Canada House. Pushing even further, they're looking to get this plant down. NDB playing off the back of that big electro shield. Plant almost confirmed there, and it will be. It's Onyx and Yoda for 2 more, leaving Vincia in the 1v3 as the EE1D rings out.
And we see him so often. Will this be the time he finally gets the pull it off? He may be a brilliant player, but will it be enough to beat 1v3 odds? Looking for that pre-fire now, but it's not quite sure where these players are. They're all playing very carefully and close to the ground, in fact, minus Yoda Pug, who has the guts to stand up here. Pre-fires come out, doesn't quite have to hit the shot, and Yoda Pug will answer back with a nice headshot and take a first win for Monash.
And it all just started to fall apart. Pika found that opening kill onto Hydra, and it just snowballed out of control from there for Monash. They did pick up a very, very solid round on the basement. I did say, look, it is the bomb site that traditionally goes the way of the attackers when played. And, well, yeah, look, RMIT, they're not going to let it happen again. Straight up to office, straight up to the bomb site, which more often than not, surprisingly enough, goes the way of the defense when it is played. But this is one of those ones that plays similarly to CCTV. If you lose control of the bomb site, it's very hard to retake as a defender, but it's also one of those ones that you have to, you have to put in a huge effort to get into the bomb site as an attacker as well.
Yeah, with those frost mats and, of course, I assume a player on those library stairs, it's going to be hard, difficult to push both from the north and also from that library. I assume, of course, that they will be pushing from that opposite side of the map, so making their way through this library area and to try and get into that half-wall area. Of course, we saw a very aggressive defense last time from that smoke player just next to the half-wall with the shield. And of course, those cams once again coming back, making a comeback here and going to be pinging information all the time. So can Monash carry on this momentum that they just built up? Or will it be once again a 5-1 half on the defense for RMIT Black? 10 seconds away from finding out.
Yeah, this is getting dangerously close to the mirror of what we saw in Oregon. Both teams going absolutely huge in the defense. This time it's RMIT to do it. Jin looking for a spawn peek of his own from the master bedroom. What can he find on top of the bed? But for now, nothing, as there is no one spawning over the southeastern side of the map. So just wishing, wanfully, looking for those early frags. Owen looks to rappel up just outside that library window as well. So Onyx again, wasting no time in getting into those early positions. Onyx on the deep rappel, looking to find those angles. And they're setting themselves up to get in library, get that control, clear the second floor out horizontally, as you would, as the majority of teams do seem to approach this bomb site. But for now, they are still paying a lot of respect to RMIT.
Yeah, library site now cleared out and starting to push in now. Sonics, of course, watching this piano window as well, just cutting off some of these players who might rotate. But there are players near this half wall and, of course, some vertical play being brought out as well. So they do need to be careful. But Pika is on the job looking for these picks as they look to start working this wall. And I'm not quite sure what we call it anymore, honestly.
Well, whatever you call it, they are looking to get the job done. They spot out the pet, so Sconix now knows that there is tools to deny that information coming through, so might have to open up the window, use the Gemini. EE1D follows it up. They've got so many tools for gathering information here on the side of the attack. Pika opens things up with a kill onto Hydra yet again, 2 rounds in a row. Has been able to take down that pesky Mozzie. They're looking to push up, get control of mezzanine. They have openings into the site as well, so they can look to go for that default plant by Hubble. And without Goyo on the board, that's not a Vulcan shield. They have a little bit of security, but the way that this site is set up, you can contest from piano. Pika, again, finds himself another long range with that ARX takedown. Vincere, luckily Jin is on the job to answer back, so it's not a total whitewash.
Yeah, they're still holding very strong positions here in the piano, and they can get that crossfire here. There is one close, information being traded back and forth. Now, Flashbang goes out looking to push out this piano player. Once they get rid of him, they might be able to start working this plant, but a smoke grenade will end that push. And it, once again, works out in the way of... No, it works out in the way of... You know what? I forget it. Yeah, it's 2-2 now, so no advantage. Oh, never mind. 1-2. They just must hate my commentating.
Maths is a pain. How now on the plant? Toxicatus is going to be thrown deep. Might even take him down for his trouble. He's going to look to stick it out. And unfortunately, it seems to have missed just a little bit too deep on the throw. How is there? OJ looking to cut him down. Is going to find the down at the very least with that M5. He secures the kill on the back end as well. Time is ticking away. In a 1v1 situation, Yoda Pug on the job with that VO5 has a little bit more threat than that long range, but it is OJ, the man, the myth, the legend, out of Rufflecop. He's going to aggress up, looking to that angle on mezzanine, but Yoda Pug wins it on the headshot. OJ falls, and Monash will find themselves a second in the half. Not quite the same disparity that we saw out of Oregon, and will give them a much easier time in pushing to bring things back even in the second.
Yeah, both of those rounds they've just won. They won off a plant and a kill, so suddenly they've just gotten very, very good at executing and forcing these defenders into just playing for that diffuser. Both of them, of course, I think opened up with a kill onto Axe Hydra from Pika. Getting rid of that Roma early on just made Monash a little bit more confident in their push, and I think confidence is the key here. We spoke earlier about kind of the lack of confidence that Monash were facing in their attack, and then of course we saw that being turned around both maps by a little more aggression here. So will Monash bring that same aggression into their defending half, or will RMIT Black once again roll away with this as they go onto the attack on an attacker-sided map?
Well, after the rehost, it's not looking quite what we saw to kick things off. So the kills are a little lower than we expected, but look at that. Coming into the attack, RMIT looking to change things up. We see the Jackal, we see the Buck, we also see the IQ coming out of Vince very early on, straight off the first round of the half. Look at the information, seeing as how, I think it's a case of they saw just how important those Valkyrie cannons were for themselves. They know that Monash can play it, so get that information off the board as early as possible. Smoke there for Owen, no surprises whatsoever. Well, they've got a lot of tools to deny that utility, a lot of tools to slow things down. Monash, they're gearing themselves up to equalize the score.
Once again, the Valk and the IQ being brought out here, so both teams knowing how each other are going to play, but will Monash be able to use those Valk camps to the same effect as RMIT Black? I guess we'll find out. Approach it now looking like it's from this library side. Axe Hydra already downstairs and looking for those roamers, but none to be found. There's Yodapug also looking back in this kitchen area as he prepares for a push.
They're going to start to open these walls. Yodapug looking to contest back towards the players in library. Besides, for the moment, it's not the greatest situation to be in. You don't want to contest those unnecessary gunfights. Play for the tight angles. Play for those natural advantages that you're going to have as a defender. Jint pushing on in, getting control of the library. Start establishing that control over mezzanine as well. If they can get that, if they can get control of this southern side of the building, they can threaten the bottom side itself. But Yodapug on this roam coming up from bottom fireplace stairs. Could even upset things, but OJ just swings it, finds him, removes him immediately from that mezzanine landing. That is a big kill to take.
Yeah, that's a C4 off the board as well, and it's going to make the dying underneath a lot harder. But once again, this mezzanine wall being opened up completely. OJ makes a second, takes out Pika. He's on a roll in this round. Let's start opening up these walls, and they've got that cross angle. Axe Hydra finds another 5v2 now. This is looking like the momentum is definitely in RMIT Black's favor.
They're looking to push for that decider, looking to take it to Villa. Vincia just outside, looking to contest and spray through the piano. Owen swings, finds the down, but NDB is there to cover. They have locked things down. They got early control from Fluke Belt. They pushed on in, got the plant down, and now Howe finds himself alone in a 1v5 situation. And just over 50 points of health. He's looking to swing, but there's so many angles that he now needs to cover the shield. It's going to give him some security, but he's tagged up on the backside even lower. OJ swings it with a skeleton key and another flawless round win from RMIT. That push in spontaneously by OJ from Fluke Belt got them the control they needed, and they translated it into a big win.
Oh no, and he finishes that off, of course, with a teabag. Lets him know that he's there. In fact, that presence was definitely felt by Monash there. They just had no answer for a very, very aggressive and very confident push from RMIT Black. They worked their way through that library. They had all the drone work and all the kind of flank watch, of course. Yodapug going for that flank was instantly shut down. And of course, Axe Hydra picking off those players who, again, attempted to go for that flank. So definitely a very strong showing from RMIT Black. And if the trend is to be believed, then definitely this looks like it's going to be RMIT Black's map.
Looking to trade their opponent's map picks here as we head down to kitchen and dining second. Frost was not played on Office Master Bedroom by Monash. They're going to bring it here in the second round of the half. Both the smoke and the mute. I think this is, the second time that we have seen it played. First time, RMIT Onyx did get absolutely whomped. Actually, no, sorry, he did take that opening gunfight against Vincia, who went for the spawn peak, and they were still able to bounce back. Ended up being that 1v1 trade. Axe Hydra and How traded to end the round. They have RMIT, so it was still a very close run thing.
Definitely a map that could still go either way. We know that these teams are capable of bringing it back, and Monash definitely very strong with that mental game as well. So they're not going to be counting their losses just yet. They're going to be still in it to win it, and win it they can indeed. Looking, of course, to take out the 2 times champions RMIT Black, and finally, once and for all, take them out for a chance at that chance.
Yeah. Don't want to be second best. Again, they have been forced in that position against their own will, and prone win! No way!
Oh, the madman, he did it. Axe Hydra had no idea what hit him. He wasn't even looking that way. And right in the nuts as Owen gets the kill with the shotgun, and once again on a roam as the mute. He's got a C4 in pocket to work with as well. Looks like worked out very nicely as no answer back from RMIT for that kill.
Axe Hydra, more like Eggs Hydra. The man just got removed mid-prone. I mean, you look at a Hydra, they're meant to have, what, three heads or so. He's got none of them left as he just catches all of the pellets straight to the midriff, and he's gone. NDB positioning on Fluke Belk again. They want to get control of that offense, start to pressure vertically, but Pika is on the job, playing from that little L hallway on that piano side of things. Has Skonix there as well, just waiting for the info, waiting for the call, waiting for the audio cue that someone is going to threaten. We see the Selmas out for that mezzanine wall. Jin just jiggling around with the lifeline, looking to clear things out, deal with that shield. Concussion hits himself with it as a toxic canister was thrown. Monash, they've found some life coming into this round.
Yeah, look at those 3 players just stacked up on this top floor. They're definitely committing to this very heavily, and they've got those crossfires to work with. NDB almost taken out, but he will be one when he takes out Sonic. That smoke off the board now. And another one as Owen goes down as well, starting to work that top floor now, and it's just up to the last 3 players here who have to start falling back and worrying about their heads as well.
Caught in the bathroom through the window. Vincia very much playing those angles, playing those advantages that he knows he can. OJ starts the vertical, starts the threat. This Jin will pinch in and start the pressure onto the site itself, actively being droned in. They're looking to scout this last remaining bits of information, but it's Yodapug Pro taking one from the captain of this Monash team, taking his influence and absolutely running with it. And look at that, the angles that are being covered here by Monash. Pika finds OJ. They are looking to snatch things back, leaving it in the hands of NDB and Vincia. NDB will get this dining wall open, but look at the angles that are set up. Prone on the floor is Yodapug once again. Vincia all the way through Solarium. Does he know that there was threats there moments ago? It looks like Pika has pulled back to the bomb site. Will we see the feet? It's going to be Yodapug. Somebody wins it. Oh, Monash get themselves another on the board.
Well, Monash definitely known for that prone peak style, and looks like it is working out. A couple of prones here and there. Suddenly brought this back. Definitely a much needed around there as well, especially off that RMIT Black attack. They really needed to prevent this, turning into that match point. So 5v3 now, it's just a 2-round difference, and 2 rounds, that's doable now. It's suddenly so much more in the grasp of Monash. And Monash, in these last 4 rounds we've seen since that rehost, they've won 3 out of 4 of them. So, definitely a much better showing from them compared to that first half.
Ironically, it's still following a similar trajectory to what we saw out of map 1. They were bringing it back close, and then all of a sudden, Monash flicked the switch. They closed it out, took us to Chalet, where we now find ourselves, RMIT in that same position. They need to be the ones that do it. We see Owen bringing out the Ella once again. We saw how well it worked on dorms on Oregon. Now they're going to look to do the same up here in the master bedroom office bomb site. The FO12, absolute fiend of a gun in close quarters if you can make it work. RG15, not quite as solid, but give you some slightly more long-range threat. Monash Onyx, they could bring it back within 1 off of this round.
5 seconds left before
Top
insertion.
floor hold once again being quite the standard here. They have chosen to go back to that second floor site. Didn't work out quite so well, but now that they've found their feet, they're kind of going back into it. And no. Oh, that's unfortunate. OJ taken out by a spawn pick. It didn't work out for Inspire last time, but it will work for Sonics as he takes out OJ, a key player here, and one of the early entries. So definitely a great pick here.
That's rough. Onto OJ as well on this second floor bomb site. The verticality can be key if you can open up the floor from kitchen. Down below, if you can threaten onto that mezzanine wall by dealing with whatever breach denial they did bring, which, I mean, it's only the Bandit and Scottish who found their opening pick, but it's still a way to contest and threaten in this round. Also, OJ, a phenomenal fragger for this team. Now relegated to cam duty, is going to be feeling a bit of pain off the back of it. Owen, this is a daring angle. Piano playing the window, waiting for it to be open. Maybe even look for a jump out there. But obviously, whatever is going on in chat for Monash, it's definitely working. They're finding the momentum. They're vibing a little bit here. Vincent looking for the long-range spray from Library against Pika. But nothing found, nothing gained as we get closer to the second half of the round.
Yodapug actually underneath with the C4 and he's looking for a peek. He does, however, see that drone. He knows he might have been given away, so he's going to fall back. Not sure where he's going to go now, but looks like quite a lot of drone presence. Ahau also off the map, off the site here. This attack looks like it slowed down a bit inside that early pick.
Well, we do see these angles starting to be opened up. Yoda with a toss of the nitro cell. May have just underarmed it a little bit there, not quite as far as it needed to go. Vincent does find the equalizer. Yoda Pug to fall. That roam not quite paying out. They were able to feed that information through and capitalize on it, but they know that Howe is here. This could be a huge pinch from the fireplace stairs if you can line up 2. 1 spotted, 1 down. He's going to get Vincent as well. That's 2 and the diffuser. He desperately runs back to the basement. Hydra on the hunt. Can he find himself another to pick it up? D50 in hand. He's going to get the kill, but gets down. How? With a miracle play. Could have brought Monash back within 1.
That was not something that RMIT Black should have let get away, but get away he did indeed. There's the player coming there to finish him off, but one player full health, one player low against 3 of RMIT Black. Monash, never mind, spoke too soon. Vince here will be taken down by the shotgun, and Owen, prone one at his best now, going for this. He does, he gets it. Prone one with the clutch on the shotgun. He does it and brings it back to Monash.
Cronwyn living rent-free in the head of RMIT right now, on the floor and on the job. I've lost count of how many times he has found frags while on the ground. He's just going to keep it flowing through within 1 round of equalizing here for Monash as we do head back to bar gaming. If they can do that, if they can push for the win, they could close it out and dethrone the current champions.
Look, I may have voted 2-1 for Monash, but if they bring it and win it 2-0, I'm not going to complain. You know, this is a well-deserved win for them. Of course, RMIT Black will have something to say about that. They've been so strong both of these maps, and it's an uphill struggle for both of these teams. It's been going back and forth. Just when we think one team is going to win it and take it away, the other team comes back. So we could still be seeing a third map, but it's so very close. They're 1 round away from equalizing and also 1 round away from getting to match point.
Bar games on the cards once again. The defense has to be clean here for Monash in this second half. They got some big momentum generate. They have not played this one yet. It's pretty interesting to see how they do. Once again, you see OJ looking to bring that buck, looking to play a beautiful game. Hopefully he doesn't get spawn peak this time, like he did in that last one. Onyx this time he's playing the Frost. 1.5 times scope could make that a reality. For this, they are going for that horizontal vertical extension, so they head upstairs and extend over towards that, the office bomb site. Look to chuck the barricades up, look to slow things down, look to put as many tools in the way as they possibly can. And it's about playing somewhat of that frustration game as well.
Yeah, RMIT Black definitely will be feeling that as they have been, on that advantage, but suddenly losing it. OJ, however, will spot out Pika, and Pika isn't quite aware, so he may get caught out here. He does know that there is someone there on those windows, but he's been droned out this entire time. Will this be the end of Pika, or will he pull off a miracle? Both these players on rappel now. He will, in fact, Pika gets one onto Hydra with his life as well. This is not a good start for RMIT Black.
Yeah, losing the Nomad of all things. Jen on the upside down rappel with that AK-12 might be able to find something from Fluke Belt, but at the moment, Pika is not going to give him the opportunity. Just playing it tough, playing it tight behind Mezzanine, doesn't want to lose out on this advantage that they have developed for themselves. If they can push out, if they can find 1-2 more frags even, they might be able to get them that equalizer, 5 rounds apiece. Yoda Pug still playing top library, still has that utility generating up and the shield to play off of as well. They've got so much coverage. There's very little presence on the bomb site itself because they want to control the vertical.
Yeah, now looking really to start challenging this in earnest. They have brought out that base, opening up that wall makes it really crucial. So getting another angle onto Mezzanine. OJ, of course, on this library window starts challenging, but doesn't quite catch the plan. He does now. Sonic's will fall now. As Yoda Pug playing on the same position he died to, whether he'll be able to answer back, we'll have to see very soon.
Pika catching some of a flash, still playing Mezzanine, still trying to catch out someone playing that library hall window. OJ is pushing up on the job. Player spotted running back, and well, Pika, he's found in library. OJ looking to push RMIT to map point here. Wants to shut it out, wants to take it to Villa. Does not want to give up the title just yet. 20 seconds left. They've still got players on. Howe gets absolutely whipped. Oh my lord, NDB just avoiding disaster there by a split second. With 2 players remaining, Yoda Pug, he's been found, he's been tagged. They are very much looking to clear things out. Owen could be the decider here.
Yeah, he's still got smokes, he's got the shotgun, and Yoda Pug holding this tight angle. He bides his time, he gets one. He's being chased. Will he find the second? Shots go out. He does not. 2v1 as Owen gets one. It's OJ, it's a 1v2 now. Can Owen finish this off? He peeks, he doesn't, and attackers. RMIT take this match point.
A real clincher there. If Owen had found the headshot, brought it down to the 1v1, he probably could have taken that, but no, not a chance. Gonna lock it down, and Jin will push RMIT to map point and give them a chance at Villa, the decider here. Round number 11 coming into play. Kitchen Dining, it seems, is the bomb site of choice for the Monash Onyx defense. And, well, this is their last-ditch effort. They need to win 2 rounds with no mistakes. If they can find that, if they can get themselves to OT, they might just be able to close it out.
Yeah, we're looking at the same scoreline we saw when Monash won on, of course, Oregon. It was 6-7-4 for them. So it looks like we're very close to seeing a repeat of that. Both teams winning 7-4 on each other's maps. Definitely would have thought that, Chalet would work out a little bit more in Monash's favor. They having played it a couple more times, but it looks like RMIT Black just so solid in both attack and defense. Very, very coordinated and just pushing so much fragging power onto Monash. They just have no answer at the moment.
Well, last chance. Well, not the last chance. Possibly one of the last chances Monash get to play around here on Chalet. Depends on whether or not RMIT can clean this round up. Given that it is attacker side of map, you'd have to favour them just a little bit more coming into this, the 11th. But Monash, they have upset them a couple of times here. And, well, speaking of upset, Sconix is running the FMG9. They've got Owen on the job. They've got Yoda Pug with that ITA as well. So it's not like they need full commitment of M590s here. They might just be able to pull this one out of the bag. That FMG9, lethal at long range with the 1.5 times in How. Looking to play some cheeky pixel angles from that piano window.
Push now coming out from the library side once again, pushing from the other side of the map. They're going for this vertical play, but we do have a lot of play. We do have players downstairs, in fact, after this downstairs site, and they're going to be, the last line of defense. And yeah, looking like slow attack, slow start here as both teams kind of looking to make sure not to make any mistakes here.
Well, again, RMIT doing their due diligence, slowing things down, playing the drone game, not getting over-eager in this position that they are in. They can get OJ into the right place to start opening up the floor, could really threaten this bomb site in a meaningful way. Owen is very, very lucky to escape with only a sliver of damage as he sprayed through that hatch. Well, it's clear that RMIT have now gotten into the library. They're going to start the pressure on and down to the bomb site. Straight through the soft walls. Jin, not sure what the play was. May have thrown a Selma accidentally into the banister there. So we'll pick it up. We'll get the diffuser as well to open up this ominous angle. Pika trying to himself in a bit of trouble. Thrown behind the couch. He's not been able to get out.
That rotate might prove to be the death of him. Vincent takes out Owen on that window. It looks like he was attempting a bit of a jump out, but he will no longer be jumping, and he's taken out there. Smoke grenades going out now a little bit early for anyone's liking. Still a minute left on the clock, but they have to do something. Slow this attack down as they bear down on this half-wall site with no answer so far.
Jin going to find a follow-up, but the trade is there in the form of Pika. Going down, he's going to find himself a second, brings it back to 3-3. Monash Onyx are not done just yet. Real damage taken away from this RMIT roster. They've lost the buck, they've lost the ace, but inside of Onyx, they've lost an ace. Air jab goes out, Hydra just a little unwilling to contest onto Hal, who was in prime position to be fragged. NDB does finally deal with that Jaeger threat that was roaming around in the second floor. They've got the player count advantage once again, but it's still two incredibly capable fraggers on the side of Monash available.
Yeah, and the site, of course, is downstairs. It is kitchen dining, and with so much time wasted taking out that top floor, suddenly this looks very much winnable for Monash. 3v2, but suddenly Plant already going down now. Not much answer. One, quite down, and it looks like Plant will in fact, no, he will be cancelled. Yodapug gets away with it. 1v2 now, as looks like Monash actually able to bring that out. The user is out of the hands, and Monash take that off time. What a way to go.
That was insane. Yodapug gets early damage onto the player swinging. NDB tagged up means that Hal can finish off that kill. Gets the player on the defuse, and then spots the one remaining player in Museum and just goes prone. Lives up to the team name. They do win it on time. They bring it back within one. He now heads to office, but I could not think of a round that more epitomized this Monash roster. Hit him where it hurts while you're on the ground. Take it away from them. They are one round away from OT.
You know, this entire time, I assumed we were attacking the second floor. And I thought, oh yeah, they've opened up half wall. And when NDB walked in with the diffuser, I was kind of expecting him to plant. It was only when I looked again, I'm like, hold up. Oh yeah, the slide is downstairs. That's when I realized that RMIT Black may be in a bit of trouble. 20 seconds left, and they were still upstairs. Hadn't even worked that, you know, that vertical control yet.
I mean, again, a real clincher. Monash, they play the clock phenomenally. Yoda knew that if he could get the player in the defuse, means that the other player supporting would be forced to pick up the diffuser and go for the plant or go for the gunfight. Either way, it was not a favorable situation for RMIT to be in. Now we see things for what they are. Final round regulation time. Monash one round away from pushing and successfully getting to OT. RMIT, if they win this, we head to Villa. We play a whole new map. The score is wiped clean effectively, and how he's having some trouble with his cams.
You know, happens to the best of us. You may be, you know, semi-final. You may be the finalist.
It's a rubber plant.
You know,
that's what the problem is.
Yeah, you just can't get that cam down, and it looks like he's going to have to find somewhere else for it. Library push once again. Push from that other side of the map across. And Vincier already hitting those bandit batteries from below. Doesn't quite get one. Maybe blocked, but maybe he did get one. But still, lots of denial there, and that IQ doing so much for this attack here.
Owen roaming again. We're looking at, well, actually no, not roaming. Pulling back towards Piano. It's Yodapug who has more of that offside presence. Playing around top library stairs, looking to get into the library itself. Hydra pulls back for the moment, realizing that he might be in a bit more danger than he realized. 2 minutes on the clock. RMIT need to pull it out of the hat here. The last thing that they're going to want is to go to overtime. Can Sam's still there in support. No shield set up for the top library stairs, which we have seen a number of times out of a number of teams. But again, I think that is coming down to more the fact that RMIT are pushing from this library side. You can see the only player over towards Fluke Belk is NDB. Looking to cover from that angle, looking to enable them to get things open. But there's so much they have to clear out so they can actually make it happen.
Yeah, I think Yoda Pug was more there just to waste some time and kind of make RMIT Black a little bit uncomfortable, and he certainly did that. That's a minute, half of the time gone. They have got that library control, but they need to start working the site. However, they will work it as NDB takes out Owen. That smoke boot is taking out Pika, also the next to fall, and that's certainly the piano and this half full area cleared right out.
Ambitious run out there from Pika. Sonics now picks up that mantle playing around the piano wall. What can they find? Goes for a bit of a swing, goes for a bit of a spray, but Vince can jump in at any moment behind him from master bathroom window, sorry. Get them to Yoda Pug and Hal looking to play this master angle, looking to spray on through. They can find some equalizers, could upset things. Hal falls. Sprayed through by Jin. NDB in a bit of trouble, but he's still alive for the moment. Yoda Pug and Sconix. It's just Sconix now. Vince playing that window. Sconix finds one under OJ. He's still alive. He's going to find himself a second. Rotates back to where Vince was covering moments ago, but it's not enough. He's not there anymore. 1v3. Vince and NDB incredibly low. He's going to rotate downstairs. Has the nitro. Could look to deny. Does he have the pings? Does he have the info? Throw it. Is he going to be able to deny here? Hydra falls. No plant secured. It's going to have to be the full ace clutch here. Vince and NDB so incredibly low now. 13 seconds left to play, and Sonic is going to push himself up library stairs. What coverage is there is the question. The ping's coming out. A wall bang would be absolutely huge. He's going to swing onto the player looking for a piano. He does. It's only a 1v1. Sconix is going to go for the 5. Can he find it? Player out on Fluke Belt, just baiting with the knife. The plays. He's in mezzanine, and NDB denies in the last moment. An ace clutch on the horizon, not gonna give it up. RMIT Black not out of it just yet. As Spud, they have confirmed we are taking a trip to Tuscany.
That was so close. That really could have gone either way. Of course, Sonic's almost pulling off. He was so close. I really thought he could. And I think RMIT Black also knew it was something that was on the cards. They played it perfectly. They made sure not to overpeak. And in the end, it paid off for them. Able to secure this map 7-5. So very close to going into overtime.
I mean, that doesn't even really describe how close it was. Not only was it 7-5, it came down to a 1v1 clutch that Sonics was able to bring back from a 1v4. That was so unbelievably close. It looked like for a moment he was going to be able to get the dream play, the highlight reel achievement. But no, NDB, look, I said last semester, I said his name stood for no doubt, baby. And look, I think he's living up to that name once again because there was no doubt. He was confident. He knew what was going on. RMIT are going to get themselves one more chance here. But we are going to throw it to a break. When we come back, the analysts will break things down before we get into the decider of Villa. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Hello and a very warm welcome back to AEL University Cup for Rainbow Six, presented by Chatime. We've just seen an amazingly close map of Chalet between our two teams, RMIT Black versus Monash Onyx. What do you think about this previous game?
Look, honestly, it was definitely one of the closer ones that we've seen between the two teams. Finally, RMIT Black did manage to fight back here, show some really good performance by themselves, and looking now at possibilities for their third map, maybe finally RMIT Black has finally woken up, although that last round of Chalet definitely had me a little bit concerned for them, just given the fact that, well, it was nearly an ace clutch, and RMIT Black were literally about 25 HP away from letting that slip. So definitely a few questions, but honestly, a good momentum play by them. I'll say that.
Definitely. So make sure you hold onto your Chatimes. Fresh iced tea. Try the new range at your local store today. They've got a bonus deal as well. Hits your sweet spot with this free mix-ins for $2, and be with us to watch this final very exciting game on Villa.
Yeah, Villa definitely going to be an interesting pick, just for the sheer fact that it is a map that I feel both teams will feel really comfortable with. For Monash Onyx, this is going to be the final map to try to finally get themselves out of that stigma of the second place, and to possibly get themselves finally onto the first place. RMIT Black, they are still not out of this yet. They're still very very far off from catching up, and it is still definitely, I think the initial kind of success will definitely be based off the performance on which side either of the teams will land. I would imagine that due to the round differential, it will be Monash Onyx that will be getting the defense pick, but we'll see what is actually in reality going to happen. But yeah, we just actually got a confirmation. Yeah, so Monash Onyx on defense, so they will get a good initial boost of points, set themselves up, say maybe even 3-3, maybe 4-2, seeing as they are still a very strong team. And honestly, for RMIT Black, I definitely think that they need to make sure that they completely lock everything down, nail down their coordination, because a fair few of the rounds during Chalet were slipped away due to one of the players not watching the planter or not watching the flank, and it just all kind of started falling apart for them.
Definitely. We've seen how influential that defender side has been in our last couple maps. Our teams have been racking up 4 or 5 rounds easily on that defense side in both Oregon and Chalet, as we just seen. Will we see this trend continue? It's going to be our casters, Blue and Lance, to bring you the show. Take it away.
Well, Spud, we're coming into it. One more chance for either of these teams to take it. Villa is the battleground to decide. Do RMIT retain the crown? Do they stay the champions? Or is there some fresh young blood coming out of Monash Onyx to take that crown away? What do you reckon? We've seen both teams come and take their opponents' maps. Who takes it on Villa, do you reckon?
So far, RMIT Black have a tear through this entire season. They've been absolutely unstoppable. But for once, it's looking like Monash, any team, will be able to stop them in their tracks. And it looks like Monash will be the team to do that. They are so close. Some of these just, by the skin of their teeth, that determines winning or losing. So honestly, this could go either way. And the fact is, this is a deciding map. This will decide who comes out as its. And I think it's a great map for us to see that.
And Monash sticking with it here. Another Ash ban. I think maybe it's something to do with the name. Ash, Monash, you tell me. Defender ban's Valkyrie. This is 100% coming off of how influential Valkyrie was on Chalet. They want it coming into Villa. It's another map where Valkyrie just seems to thrive. So smart. And Monash Onyx taking away the smoke. even though it is one of their integral operators.
Well, you'd have to hope that they know what they're doing and there's some secret source strategy that they haven't shown us yet. Is to decide it all, and they have played against each other for 2 grueling ousting maps. They've kind of worked out how they all play. A lot of these bands now, apart from that Thatcher, are starting to be, I feel, a little bit targeted here. A couple of key players and key utility that they want to get rid of. So, all right, I guess we'll have to find out as we go on to Villa. Once again, a very big map, so lots of room for roamers and lots of room where things can go very, very wrong for the attackers if they don't watch their backs.
Interesting. I mean, Ash off the board means that there is so much more utility that needs to be dealt with. You've got Vulcan shields, you've got regular deployables, you've got Melusi with those Banshees as well. And all that they have is the Ash and Sledge to now deal with them. That makes things infinitely harder. Sorry, not Ash, Sophia and Sledge. Ash being off the board presents some unique opportunities for the defense. Now, there's so much bulletproof utility to be much harder to clear out. I don't know if this is going to be enough to upset the flow of momentum for RMIT on their attack, but Monash might have found the key to making things infinitely harder on attack.
Yeah, just look at the amount of utility they're bringing here. Not just the Goyo shields and the Frostmats and the Banshees, they've also got all of the utility now here. They've got Jaeger, they've got Wamai, and in the hands of Yodapug and Pika, it can really do a lot of damage with that gun as well. So definitely going to be an uphill battle here for RMIT Black to take out this utility. Having said that, of course, RMIT Black, they are in a good position here. Villa, has been around for a while, so everyone's kind of used to how it plays out. So, they do have the advantage of, having played this map for a long time. But so does Monash. Unfortunately, what it seems they don't have is an SSD. Yodapug still on his hard drive, giving us a reason why they should win. He needs his AEL money. But unfortunately, second place prize is only $625, guys. So I'm not sure if it's enough for everyone to buy an SSD.
Look, Vince here, he's throwing some shade early on here. We've still got an entire map to play. It's not a done deal. But yeah, look, maybe an SSD. Yeah, look, they might be able to get a second-hand one or just, your basic. But look, coming into this, it's 1-1 apiece. Coming into Villa, it has been traditionally a very defender-sided map. And come on, man, load in. Far out.
Your props go out and buy one by now. Yeah, look, Yodapug, I think you have time for it. Finally made it in. It looks like Siege has finally decided it wants to play today. Apparently.
To locate and defuse bombs.
There we go. We are into this map. The whole prep phase gone by, so thankfully they still have that to work with. And community vote, 58% to 42%, so looking a lot more even now. RMIT Black finally feeling some heat for the first time in this competition. It's gone through pretty smoothly, but will they be able to stop Monash? Or will Monash be the first to take them out and be the new champions?
Well, I mean, I know we and the production team backed RMIT. We did say 2-1, so there's a number of us did say 2-1. So a few of us could get the vote for that, although it doesn't really matter given that they'll take it out anyway, regardless of the result. But coming into this, round 1, Aviator Games, RMIT on the attack. They need to come into this first half, just storming on through. Unfortunately, Onyx, defense is their game. They play it very, very well. We saw them come in swinging on Oregon. This could be the half that does get them that victory.
Well, looking at this long angle from OJ, he almost catches the A, but he will be able to get away. However, these will give the position of these attackers away. They start working their way from master bedroom. So once again, opposite side of the map are going down those stairs. As you go, very common. We did see this in Chalet. So once again, being repeated here on Villa.
Now did threaten the Nitro Cell on BS room window. For now, does not want to commit the drone. Throwing it into the window cell is spotted out. So at least Howe can walk away with something. Information is so key. That's why we saw Valkyrie banned. It's so important on a map like Villa. If you can get that information, especially in the offsite presence, one, it can give you the call. Do you just go into the bomb site knowing that they're so far away they can't impact any change? Or do you pinch them out first? We are getting close to the second half of the round here. And, well, RMIT, they've gotten into Astro. They're looking to start covering across. Go from north to south here, but the scan, this Inox from Vincier could definitely catch out one of these key players.
Yeah, AEL has gone away just a slither of health, but Pika is holding this bottom of these stairs to kind of help him out. But this is still a power position that they're holding. It's going to be very difficult for the attackers to catch up here. C4 goes out. Does he catch one? No, not quite. Jin just escapes. Very, very close now, and that's the C4 utility gone as well. AEL, however, still looking to play quite aggressively on these Astro stairs.
Jin going to be tagged up. OJ put on the ground. Not a kill. They will be able to pick him up, but big damage done nonetheless. I think it was maybe a contest from the vertical angles coming out from Pika on the first floor. Oh, it was. Oh, I forgot. I totally missed that those are in play. Big brain. It's been a long day. It's late here in New Zealand. But at the moment, it's one kill being picked up by Vince, able to finally finish off Hal, who was rotating through it. Yeah, it's those frost mats and those unexpected positions that usually do the most damage. 34 seconds left. We're at a 5v4.
So much time has just been burnt up here. Owen gets another one off of this. Looking now to push into this game's area, but oh no, the shield is saving Owen. He gets one. Will he make it to the second? Could even line up. He gets 3. Double kill from Vincier, however. It's a 2v2 now. 14 seconds left. Pika flanking up, but it's covered by the smoke. Diffuser is down those hits. Aggressively with the ping. Hit by the edge. Yeah, this could be the end. 1v2 now. Sonic takes out Jin. But Vincier answers back. It's 1v1. This is down. Could this end? Oh my goodness. That was so close. That was terrible for RMIT Black. Had he been a little bit earlier, he probably would have taken a close round for both involved, but it will be Onyx to take out that win.
Even Owens, he's chuckling a wee bit behind the hand. That could have gone so horribly wrong for Monash. Pika running across the doorway almost gets taken out, which would have secured the round win. The diffuser nowhere near a possibility of being picked up there by RMIT because of the Vulcan shields in the middle of that site. Just absolutely denied everything there. So Aviator Games picked up on the clock by Monash. We now head over to the split bomb site trophy statuary. This is one that can go a number of different ways.
Attackers need to locate
again, a huge presence, a huge potential, for roaming here. And I think that map control that, RMIT Black tried to take, that really burnt them. I mean, they kind of ran out of time to clear out that ulti and clear out Owen, of course, at the end, and that's what led him to that 3K, such a rushed attack. So again, there's so much space for Monash to be working with here. Could they potentially see a repeat where they send just one player just to, burn some drones, burn some time, and then fall back and wait for this attack to come in?
10 seconds left.
Well, Monash have not really been a team that will just sit back and wait for stuff to happen around them, so I would be surprised if we see them play off the front foot. Owen, a big 3K in that last round, holding the fort from Aviator. Behind that, you see, somewhat aggressive setup from the Split and Trophy. They've got northernmost panel open on the split wall, on the statuary wall into master bedroom. Looking to play some of those long angles, looking to contest. How well do they deal with it? Bit of a pre-fire coming out from Jin. They're looking to cover as many bases as possible. Owen on the pulse though. This is hugely upset from below. He is also, bit of props to the old Skyfire captain MT Jax himself. Shotgun pulse coming on through the M1014, a bit of a fiend on this map. How playing the punch holes as well. RMIT might crumble to the mental game. Owen, it does fall. Vince here for 2 as he catches out Howe as well. Both of them playing down in the kitchen. They were so confident, didn't think that maybe someone else was going to jump in.
That was a good job there, but Pika will be able to take out Jin, and that's going to even it back out to 3v3. But a crucial information pick denied here will be the pulse gone. And of course, however, the attackers do lose that, of course, a powerful entry in the form of ND. Good trades both ways. I'm not really sure who came out on top of that.
I mean, it's really hard to say. Hopefully Jin got some of that utility down in the form of the air jabs, long range spray from that study window. Cops a little bit of damage onto Vin, but nothing significant at the end of the day. 1 minute 20 left on the clock, and Monash, they are looking to hold on. 3 versus 3 time. OJ now swinging in. Sonics looking to push from below. This is the power of a Goya. You set your utility up, then you can play downstairs, play off the nitros, play off those vertical threats, and I think maybe, just maybe, he could upset any attempt to get onto the side here.
Yeah, all of this pressure is really starting to come down on Monash now. All of the attackers stacked up bathroom side, and they've got a hole to work with. Yoda Pug holding very close as well with the shield now. I think Sonic in a bit of trouble here. Can't really get back up onto the side, and one already passed into Astro and being held continuously. He's in a world of hurt, but he does get one. Vincia does fall. Now he's being challenged as well, but he manages to fall back with his life.
Makes it all the worse. As unfortunately Hydra walk past Skonic's position. We see the drop, and Yoda Pug with the M590 just locks it down, takes out OJ, takes out Hydra. And well, Sonic, you know, it's Pika just left to watch and wonder what the heck just happened. Monash picked themselves up round number 2 as well, looking to keep this defensive-sided affair rolling.
So far, though, as we all know, that defense does also mean you do have to attack, and that's where everything has kind of fallen apart. Monash, if you remember in that first map on Oregon, were winning 5-1, and RMIT Black managed to bring it back to 5-4 before Monash finally ran away with it. So it's not all over yet. This is usually viewed as a defender-sided map with a lot of room to work with for roamers. So, you know, it's not all over for RMIT Black. They have been very good on the attack, and especially with those early picks and that 2K in the kitchen caught both Owen and also Ahab completely off guard.
Well, I mean, Vince, he might be a little bit warmed up here. He's 5-0-1 in the 3rd round. Absolutely gutted the roam presence downstairs. We can look to do that again. Could make things infinitely harder. But we head down to dining kitchen, tertiary site. We do see that vertical kitchen coming up once again. And Owen, prone win, the king himself, playing the MT Jack special M1014 Pulse. Into play. Didn't find much of it last round. Him and Hal got absolutely demolished by Vincent on that early push through bike. But hopefully, maybe this round he can pull something out of the bag.
Yeah, we've talked about how crucial intel has been in these last few maps, especially with that Valkyrie. And now that Valkyrie's gone, it looks like we're going to be relying on that Pulse. Pulse, of course, played a lot on this particular map. There's so much vertical damage you can do with that C4 and also the shotgun, so hopefully it works out a little bit better. But for now, it will be a master bedroom take, OJ droning himself in, as well as a bit of intel coming out from both sides involved.
Pika in Astro does have the hatch should he choose to drop. The drone spots him, can rotate back into Trophy as well, so they are covering a number of bases at the moment. Plus that cardiac sensor is going to be feeding that information about the players outside the master bedroom window. Well-placed Nitro Cell could be absolutely crippling here in the push up to Laundry. Owen sees the drone, shoots it out. Does give away some information, not quite who he is, but where he is. 1 minute burnt, 1 minute of utility drained away. 4 drones already off. Owen is still just feeding that info to his team.
Yeah, this pulse play is just so crucial in knowing exactly where these attackers are coming from. And although they've got that top floor, they haven't been able to get any picks. And with so many C4s, one's bound to hit. It won't be Owen's. So at the first one, so a bit of utility off the board, and these bridging charges in Sledgehammer doing so much work. 2 kills, quick succession. Owen and Yoda Pug to fall as Axe and NDB pick up these first 2 kills. And this is suddenly in the favor of RMIT Black.
0-2 on the Nitro Cell play, and then 0-2 on the players. They still luckily have 2 left in the hands of Sconix, and how NDB just straight through Laundry goes to the free fire, but it's Jin to find the next. Sconix falls as well. Nitro Cell tossed but it's not enough. OJ does finish that off first with the SMG11, then with the L8. Swing from Jin just secures the flawless round. RMIT, not out of it just yet, will get themselves on the board in the third, winning out Dining Kitchen. But the big problem now, we head back to Aviator Games.
Aviator Games, of course, if you remember, was a very chaotic round. A lot of time wasted by AHAL early on those Astro stairs. And then, of course, everything coming down to Owen and his trusty shield. Definitely not something RMIT Black want to be repeating in terms of just the pace. They want to get things done a little bit quicker and just have more time to flush out some of this utility that for sure will be placed by the defense.
Aviator Games, Owen changing things up. Last time we saw him on the Frost, yeah, I think they've realized that it worked once. Chances are it isn't going to be able to catch out OJ again. Brings out the yellow. We've seen him on this a couple of times. There was a bit of a fiend in Chalet, that prone double kill that he got on that library hallway. Going to probably do it again. But it's surprising. It's an Aviator Games hold. Usually when you see this Ella shotgun, it's more for the split sight. You hold it in the walk-in closet. You play a little more aggressively onto the window. But I mean, it has its own utilizations here. We see the Goyo. We see that aggressive look through and the study that a lot of teams do like to run. I don't think we're going to see him holding the same angle that he held last time. But I mean, who am I to say what he can and can't do?
Yeah, Owen is definitely known for doing the impossible. He's made proning the way to play, so you know, he can definitely make something else. But it will be a very interesting opening here on that study wall. They do have that Goyo shield, so they can keep that wall aggressively to challenge those players who are pushing from the study side.
RMIT, not out of it entirely, but their approaches to the other two bomb sites were a little bit unfortunate, to say the very least. Having Ash off the board has already proven how impactful that bulletproof utility clear is, not having the 3 breaching rounds. I'm surprised we're not seeing them double down towards the frag grenade side of things just to clear it out, but with where my Jaeger on the board, it's going to have a hard time of it at the best of situations. It still blows my mind that this Ash bad is actually being as impactful as it is.
See now on the solo roam clear, he might actually catch these players to actually downstairs. And the C4 will be the first, takes out Jin, and that's in fact the Nomad down. I'm not sure if he got any utility, but he's not going to be putting any more down, that's for sure.
That's a big pick to lose. Luckily, Vince finally pinches up from the basement, finds that trade back onto Pika. Brings the count back to 4-4. So again, it's a situation entirely doable for either team at the moment, but easily the biggest of the 2 losses was Jin being taken off the board. No idea how many air jabs were placed, if any, and not having that flank watch that really was impactful in almost winning out that round last time they were here. Honestly, it could have been the make or break situation if they'd had that coverage, but not on the board. Not going to have that clearance. Owen, not quite sure where he wants to be sitting. Is just rotating in and around the bomb sites, playing a couple of different angles as the utility clear starts to come in through Zombie to look at clear out that shield in the Aviator display. Minute left on the clock, and they have taken out a big chunk of ground.
Oh, C4 just misses OJ, but he will be swung on, however. NDB answers back, gets Owen as well, and that's the famous shotgun out of the way now. And with these sites cleared of utility, just Yodapug left to hold off this. If they can take him out, they could start going for the plant here.
Backs against the wall. You got 1 in study, 1 in Aviator, 1 towards that main stairs landing. No smoke, obviously, to stall out the time, so it's going to have to come down to the gunfight. It's interesting we don't see a Maestro prioritize or anything like that, but Yodapug is going to have to win these gunfights. Does not have much in terms of utility clear. I would imagine all those magnets have been used up. The ADS is there. How does just escape the angle? Spots the head of OJ, who'd rotated around, tucking in behind the vault door. Yodapug detonates the shield, and Hydra has to flee for his life. Vince with a team kill on the Hydra. It's going to be a trade. NDB goes down for Hal. And a 1v2 situation. Vince with 4 seconds left has to go. Sprays, finds the kill through the couch. Yodapug falls. but it's going to be on the clock again. Vince has to go for the plant, spotted, and Onyx will take it down. My lord, no chance other than to go for the defuse. That is heartbreaking for RMIT.
That was so very, very close. Even after that team kill, that beautiful through the sofa, it looked like it was doable, but Vincia couldn't pull it quite off as the game was just against him. He had to go for that defuse. Ultimately, it was Onyx was able to get that free kill off the time. Again, another close round. Second time we've seen RMIT Black almost win out that second floor AV site. But it will be no more. We will not be seeing that, at least on Monash's defense anymore, as we go to the second floor trophy stat site.
My lord, the team kill and then running the clock down and then having to go for the plant. I just don't think there are a few rounds that are as crippling to the mental game as a round like that. And we go to split and see the same thing coming up once again. Shotgun pulse, Yoda Pug back on the mute. And he was integral in holding that down. The Vulcan shield on the door by where Onyx is at the moment. Onyx playing at the Astro Stairs later on in the round. I mean, it just all came together phenomenally for Monash, who they still have a 2-round lead. They still have a chance to extend here in this half, but it's a case of Villa defense being so strong. Do we see RMIT have a same or similar run?
Yeah, so far it's just always been whoever's on defense just kind of has the run of the has the best pick. But if I had to really put it down to attack versus attack, RMIT Black's attack just looks a little more coordinated than Monash's attacks. So if Monash are able to get enough of a lead here, they might just be able to scrape by. But if they don't put enough round difference between them, then RMIT Black could really wreak havoc on their next half.
Drones coming in. They spot the extended setup over towards Aviator. So it's a case of one drone. They're going to look to open up those long angles, but for now, it has been voided. Monash not looking to overcommit on those long-range angles, but oh, look at this roam downstairs in library with the cardiac sensor. Spots one. Knows that there is some presence over this southern side of the map. Pulls out the shotgun. See that Jin is running again. Jin just cut off at the knees by the nitro cell. This time by Owen. And already we see the shotgun pulse having more effect than the last time.
Bomb located by
Jen, you have the Nomad edge apps. You gotta be putting down that utility. You're not the entry, but it looks like Mimo, and he won't be getting any kills either, as he's taken down by that C4 beautifully. I assume pre-placed from Owen as well.
No, he was running. He ran. He's like, yeah, no, the guy's heading this way. Threw it out. Just caught him mid-stride. I mean, it was a very close run thing.
That's definitely great game sense, just slowing the pace of the attacker and being able to put it right on the money. Well played, well played.
They've burnt time, they've burnt some utility, and they've got that flank watch off the board. I mean, they're checking some of these angles, but I would be pressed if Jin got any of them down. Axe, stun thrown through Statuary, Indomie in a bit of trouble. He's going to be sprayed down with the pistol. Jose does get Pika, who is threatened. He's going to be dropped himself. I believe that was an N590. Owen on the floor with the M1040. He's going to run straight on in. He's done it again. Found two for his third in the round. And Vince is just watching and wondering what the hell went wrong. Prone went around the corner. Of course.
Oh, no. Here he goes in beautiful, glorious replay. The drop shot. He got him. He did him 30. The drop shot. The Pro League player cannot take out the Prone League player. The shotgun is too powerful. As Monash take another round and inch ever closer to that victory.
My lord. I mean, if you were to take a bat and hit someone in the kneecap, that is the damage that has been done to the RMI mental off that round. Just to kick things off, the flying nitro cell kill onto Jin, their flank watch. He then runs up through the statuary door, downs one, follows it up with a kill, and confirms the final one. And then Prone win. True to form, round the landing double door, finishes off Insia, who was in the site. I mean, how do you come back from that mentally?
I mean, whatever the result of this game, that was definitely an entertaining one for sure. I think that will go down in AEL University Cup history. It could, be playing the game even. I might say someone should definitely submit that because I think they have a great chance of winning.
As just addition to the Skyfire roster, Jeff said, yeah, look, that's reportable. I'm sorry, that was just filthy. There is no way Owen should have got away with that, and he did. He pulled it off. He won the round. He's back on Shotgun Pulse. Maybe Skyfire should be citing this guy. MT Jack Shotgun Pulse who? Owen is the man on the job, it seems.
Well, RMIT Black definitely aren't going to be counted out just yet. It is 1-4, but we have seen them come back from worse, so definitely still a lot of fight in the... And some great players who can definitely clutch up when needed. So they're definitely putting in their due diligence now, pushing in once again from that study side now, pushing across as they start working that vertical for that library, sorry, for that dining kitchen.
Well, one round left in the half, and Monash might be able to take the 5-1 if they can book it here. I have to wonder just what state RMIT's mental is in at the moment, because that, I mean, devastating, just does not do it justice the way that round did go. They're playing the vertical. Owen is back on the Shotgun Pulse. There are players pinching in close by. You can see OJ is looking to get himself in towards that entry at Pika, playing Astro Stairs. They were looking one way, but they should have been looking the other. And again, one player falls from here. The dominoes start to come.
Yeah, those Astro Stairs definitely needed to be cut off there, but it's a little too late now, as his teammate has been downed. Pika doing a lot of work here on the roam, and these two players upstairs still left completely unchecked. They can still do so much work here, especially peeking down this red corridor. And with, again, that information game, it's just so difficult for RMIT Black. Jin, however, will take out Sonics, and that's one for the board. It looks like he's actually in sight now. Almost gets Owen, but the shotgun rings out. Both not landing their shots here, and I can't see, it's too laggy. Axe will take out Owen though, and it will be back to 4v3.
How does bring it back 3-3. Hydra on the plant. Yoda in position. They can look to pinch it onto the site. What info do they have? But it's unfortunately How in living room, which means they've got control of the site. NDB on the Nomad has survived as long as he possibly could. They're now pushing in through Memorial. Hydra does find the kill to How. Pika there looking for the trade, looking for the answer back. Spray through Hydra, put down. It's a 2v2. He's going to swing in. He's going to confirm the kill. What more can he find? Yoda Pug has to feed in and help him out. NDB is going to fall. They're looking for one more this time. Jin brings it down to the 1v1. He's going to take out Yoda as well. RMIT not going to go quietly into the night. They bounce back off what was a mentally gutting play. And they get the half 4-2 and put themselves into the defense with a little bit more room to work with.
We always say that, it's never over until it's truly over. Until that last player falls, until that round timer finally counts down, it's never quite over. And RMIT Black showed that true to form. They're the champions for a reason, and that is one of them. Despite that, what would have been, I assume, a mentally devastating lost round, they stepped up to the plate and absolutely ran over Monash's defense. That was just a very clinical attack. A couple of players lost, but definitely in the upper hand, especially going into that final gunfight. So that will be a 4-2 half as we now go onto RMIT Black's defense, and they are just 2 rounds away from equalizing with Monash here.
It has been a close run thing for the most part. Mira was let through. We didn't really touch on it, but it's not something that was really picked up by Monash at all in their defense. Going into round number 7 though, something that definitely needs to be addressed is 4 nitro cells on the board. OJ playing the mute, not running a shotgun at all. It's going to be the MP5. NDB, Hydra, and Jin all running the secondary explosive utility. Look at this setup for the defense. Looking to play those mirror windows aggressively where they can. And it's a setup that I've seen a couple of players and teams run to varying degrees of effect, and they are going to go for the extension all the way over. And look at that, NDB, secondary mirror window in split, or in statuary to aggress into the master bedroom to try and take gunfights on their own terms.
Yeah, this is definitely much heavier extension than we usually see. We might see a few players roaming down, in this area, but definitely don't expect the whole mirror window and AEST and mute jammer setup. However, he is cut off from that Astro window, so that is a little bit of help to the attackers. But Vincia will also be downstairs looking to help him out if needed.
A lot of early presence coming into Monash. They're getting themselves in. Sub 1 minute. Vincia playing Astro Stairs with that. Yeah, he struggled a little bit with it in previous maps. That spray change definitely coming into play a little bit more than we thought. Howe takes out OJ to kick things off. And this was the key player holding down this heavy extension. Now removed. All for absolutely nothing. And they can start to clear things over north to south off this push in the master bedroom. And that is, not only is it a key gun, a key position now lost, it's a nitro cell as well off the board.
Yeah, and all that utility they dumped into that is suddenly completely wasted now, and just really gives them free rein to start working this this site from the other end. However, we have mentioned that they have been a little bit low on time usually, and with a minute and a half left, it's not great, but it's not terrible either. So still could be pulled back by RMIT Black here.
They do have a little bit more utility to deal with. Jin going to be spotted out and have to run through that EE1D, being threatened by the player on the classical window, plus the players pushing through 90. Yoda Pug on the job, back on the line once again. Having seen some solid impact in the match tonight. Interesting, we don't see this mirror setup contested vertically, which I mean is more the case than not. You can actually open up the floor and really threaten those positions. Peek it, goes for a bit of a swing, picking up that flank watch roll. Once again, Hydra falls to Onyx. They're looking for even more on the rappel on this study window, or study door. But so far, nothing found. E1D in the final 30 seconds. It's all going to kick off here.
5 plays still alive from Monash. This could be a flawless round. Plant goes down, and indeed, a perfect way to start out this new half. I mentioned that Monash's attacks could be questionable, but there was nothing questionable about that. There was no answer from RMIT Black. That early extension into into master bedroom and statuary, completely demolished. All that setup wiped out by a very convincing attack from Onyx.
Well, the flood on into the site gets control. We see the double down in round 8 of Aviator Games coming through once again, but just the way they approached it, they took control of those positions. They didn't even have to win a huge number of gunfights. It was just that first one, everything started to fall into place. All of a sudden, they were in the site, taking control. The rest of the kills fell from there. They didn't even need to go for the plant. Monash, they can taste just how close they are to dethroning RMIT right now.
Yeah, you have to imagine for RMIT, the pressure is back on. They are so close. This is the closest they've ever been pushed by any team in this entire league. Monash have been, working with that pressure the entire time, on the verge of being knocked out. But now, for the first time, RMIT Black are feeling that very same pressure. That mental is going to be so important. We've mentioned it so many times, and both teams have shown great mental resilience and fortitude, but whoever is in their game, has their head in the game, is ultimately going to be who wins out here.
Last minute setup, OJ
Attackers are moving out to
on the
locate
mirror.
bomb and defuse it.
Does have that last window available. It's a question of, do they go for that extension over to split once again, or do they hold it? Do they double down on this bomb site and position it there? Onyx looking to secure his entry into the building with the pre-placed drone. My lord. Brain turns off at 1 o'clock in the morning, but it is what it is. You carry on, you move on, as Monash are at the moment. And yeah, it is that extension. Same setup once again. Last time they were able to capitalize quite cleanly on it. They shut it down. They moved in, got control, flooded north to south, and well, we saw how that round ended out. You reckon they can do it again here, Spud?
Yeah, this time it's going to be Jin on that mirror window, not OJ. So Jin does have those goo mines to work with, and he has proven to be very, very deadly. So it might be a little more difficult for RMIT here. And after all, oh, never mind. It looks like Jin's just going to fall away from that. So it's going to be easy, so easy. In fact, they don't have to shoot anyone.
Yeah, I mean, at what you have to question at what point do you give up that position? Like how desperately do you want to hold on to it? Obviously, the call was made by RMIT. It's not that important. We can pull back. We've still got a number of positions to hold on the way to site. And so the call was made. He drops down. Use that ground up to Monash, who will start to march on. Owen on the ace this time. I've seen a number of operators just change hands throughout the rounds. Yodapug still playing the Lion, though. Has been huge so far in this best of 3 series. 1 minute 20 on the clock. It's again Monash taking some good ground.
Working onto this play, and 90 is going to push him back as well on that 90 window now. And all of the defenders now forced back onto site, minus Jin, who is still actually downstairs on his own. But attackers definitely have set up a very strong push here, looking like they might even open up that study wall. But Vincia answers back, takes out AEL from across, and suddenly Red Stairs gets back in the control of the attackers. Oh, never. Sorry, I was going to say defenders.
The equalizer immediately.
Yeah, it will be an attackers.
Not wrong. It's crazy. It's just all-out slugfest at this stage. These guys have been playing a very, very long series tonight. NDB playing behind the U-bar to find the angle. It's Hydra, though, who finds the kill onto Owen. No more hard breach. Means that they're going to have to funnel through these doorways. Things open that way. So Onyx again on the rappel, tags up Vince all the way towards Vault. E1's out, Yodapug falls, Pika has to try and enable the pickup here, but with 13 seconds left on the clock, it might just be a case of force the frag. Onyx is going to look to swing himself in. Pika falls as well. 1v4 situation. Onyx swings and wins it, but unfortunately, Vince there is there to cover. RMIT Black will get themselves a round. And they bring it back within 2 once again, not letting Monash run away with the victory here.
Yeah, Sonic can do a lot, but he can't win a 1v4 here. He managed to pick one off with a nice 180 there, and we actually saw just a glimpse of it as Axe Hydra attempted to swing him, and Sonic's just turned around and absolutely demolished him. But it wasn't enough there. Sonic's unfortunately falling, and it will be RMIT Black once again to take another round. So far in this half, it has been 1-all. That difference still sitting nicely at 2 rounds. So not too much of an advantage to run away with here.
Keep them close. Last thing you want is Monash moving onto map series point if you're RMIT Black here. But look at the changes we see coming in. Split. It's the bomb side of choice. Onyx picks up the buck instead this round. Looking to play that vertical game once again. But the mirror in play. We see the mute multi-combo being chucked in. RMIT looking to deny information, slow things down, and aggressively contest once again. 4 nitro cells on the board.
Yeah, definitely going to be a lot of throwing going on here. Back up onto that statue site. They don't have a pulse to work with, but they do have mirror windows. So, and once again, this mirror being set up in an off-site position. They're very much a fan of this. Hasn't always worked out, so maybe they could place that utility somewhere else. But, mirror is just something you don't expect so far off the site.
Well, we've seen it work, go horribly wrong the first time it was played in this horizontal extension. Second time, they gave up on it immediately. Third time, well, we'll see how it plays out now that it is statuary trophy bomb site of all things. Aviator games are very consistently contested position on this bomb site. You usually extend over with the likes of a Jaeger, something like that. Look, Monash already getting in downstairs, setting up that utility, setting themselves up so that Skonix can start to open the floor and really threaten these defensive positions. Vincent, he's heard the call. NDB as well, floating in and around. Don't want to get caught out by the skeleton key. Pika tagged heavy to kick things up. Has got 2 air jabs out, but it's OJ to find the kill on the Skonix. They lose the buck almost immediately.
That window, however, will be open, so it wasn't for nothing, but they still have to find another 5 players in order to do this. However, that will be the wall starting to be opened up now, so this is a good start, just minus that one player that could be the make or break in such a close game.
Looking to play the long-range angles with that 2 times on the AK-12 Pika. Last air jab does go out. They've still got the EE1D. They've still got Hao playing on the Zofia. And he has been able to pick up a number of highly impactful frags at the moment. Jin just dancing around for the trophy. Looking to contest these long-range angles. Anything, any bit of information, any pixel that he can find, any damage that he can do could translate into a win later on in the round. Pika now over towards Astro. Little health, but in a game like Rainbow Six Siege, all he needs is a headshot, so can definitely do some real work from that position. Nitro Cell toss. Pika is just currently baiting that utility though.
Yodapug will take out OJ though, coming up those Astro stairs, and suddenly that's Astro busted wide open. Last players are locked onto this trophy site, so they are close, but close isn't good enough. They have to be on this site, and now Yodapug will cut this off as well. A-House starting to make entry now, and suddenly Astro has fallen, and this could be the end of RMIT Black's event.
Vincia going to be tagged up, heavy white screen for him. It's Owen, the long-range spray from out on the landing. Behind Jin, EE1D follows up. Hydra can't quite get the spray. Pika is just able to get the kill on the EDB before he does get felled. Hydra felled himself by Hao. Brings it down to a 3-1. Yodapug pushes Monash Onyx onto map series point here in the decider. And for the first time in 3 competitions, RMIT might just be dethroned.
I mean, for those who haven't seen this, this happens every single season. The last 3 seasons, we've seen an RMIT Black and Monash Onyx championship. And every time, Monash are so close, but fall short at the last moment. If I remember correctly, this is the closest they have ever been. They are 3 points ahead of RMIT Black, who need to catch up and make 0 mistakes to just get it into overtime. I mean, if they could do that, they might still stand a chance. They could bring it back on that overtime, but that's 5 grueling rounds they have to win. This is not looking good for RMIT Black, but if there's any place that could do it, it's RMIT Black. They have the mental, they have the fortitude, they have the skill. This is going to be an explosive round for sure.
Well, 3 rounds needed to take it to OT. Do or die here. The RMIT Black team. Vince picking up the vigil, looking to pull out all the stops, utilize every tool that they have to upset and pick up the round win. 3 rounds needed. Big plays off the back of it. No mirror this time. Okay, no, sorry. OJ back on the mirror. They go for that extension once again, but it's a case of what do we sacrifice to allow this to happen? They don't care. They just want the victory. Whatever it takes is the call that's made.
Yeah, what that shows me is that they're a confident team. They're not, second guessing. They're not second guessing themselves. They're not thinking, are we making mistakes? They know what to do, and they're confident in it. They are going for it. That mirror window, once again, same spot, same placement. They know, they're gonna. It's all or nothing. They're sending it all in. They're gonna die on this hill.
Well, they're going to die in some hills, whether it's in Tuscany or elsewhere. We're all about to be finding out. Pika on the drone job once again. Wants that early information to enable the rest of the team to get themselves in and starting to contest. We see that they have brought the Cade, looking to deal with some of that breach denial. Onyx kicks it off early with the vertical play. Opens up the floor, takes out OJ. And that is just one of the 5 cards they need to deal out here to pick up the victory. Looking for more. They get the window. They're looking for the tripler as well. Jin desperately trying to spray back and get the trade. But it's all coming apart here for RMIT.
Look, this is a great position to be in for Monash. They have the time, they have the rounds to work with. And Owen gets a second onto Jin. The man advantage grows ever more. And all these players are now just trapped on site. They're fighting for their lives, but will it be enough to take out Monash here? 3-6 match point and a minute and a half to go.
Second half of the round. Coming to me, might be able to find angle. Vince felled. Hao finds it. It's a 5v2. And the EE1D will roar. Hydra isolated, very much separated from his teammate. He's going to march on into Statuary, tries to find any angle that he can. If they can get a kill, they might even be able to translate it into another. Right now, the stun is being pumped into Astro. Yoda prepped and ready on the stairs to march on in, but NDB not going to let him happen if he can. Yoda swings, finds a kill onto Hydra. It's NDB alone, and Astro finds one. Sconix takes it, and Monash Onyx will upset and dethrone RMIT Black. They are your Semester A champions.
And for the first time in 3 seasons, it will be Onyx. They fought so hard for this every season. 3 seasons in a row, every time coming just short. But finally, 3rd time is the charm, and they are your AEL University Cup Rainbow Six champions.
It has been a roller coaster ride here, Spud. But that brings our stint on the screen to an end, Spud. We have the analysts. They will be taking it to the interview, figuring out how the boys are feeling. So, Spud, thank you for joining me throughout this semester on the mic. We'll hand it over to our wonderful analysts, and they can have a chat to the boys and see how they're feeling after that massive win.
Well,
Thank you.
Jack, there we are. Yeah, look, sorry for cutting you off there. But yeah, look, a stunning performance by Monash Onyx.
Yeah, amazing. Really taking it back in that final map and toppling the, I believe, 3-time winner of our AEL seasons in the past. This is a huge achievement for them, and I'm sure that they're very, very proud of what they have managed to achieve. They've stuck together as a team for so long. Coming second each time must have been so painful for them, but they do manage to wrap it up this season and achieve that singular dub that they've so long hoped for.
Yeah, look, definitely, finally the curse has been broken, and congrats to Onyx. They've fully deserve it and managed to just show that they came in prepared way better here on today for this grand final for RMIT Black. Look, their first big loss here, and it is definitely something that should be taken on board, maybe looked at for the future, for the VOD review, and yeah, just like that. Look, that's the whole semester done. I gotta say, that Villa looked 110% all the way in favor for Monash Onyx, gotta say.
Yeah, just starting off very strong on that defense, winning 4 out of those 6 available rounds. They're very strong on Aviator games and that trophy site. Their kitchen was a little bit weaker. There was a lot of missed C4s, but as they switched at half, they're able to bring forward these so crucial attacking rounds, and that's going to end it off as we do have that second map of Villa going in favor of Onyx, and what map it is. Sorry, third map.
Yeah, look, the second map definitely felt like it gave some hope, but at the end of the day, yeah, Villa look 7-3. It just full domination, gotta say. I mean, even I initially didn't expect it to be this dominant, but look, yeah, Onyx throughout the whole tournament, throughout the whole playoffs, managed to show us a phenomenal comeback story through the lower bracket, and look, champions. There we are.
Well,
we do actually have the interview actually coming around as well, ladies and gentlemen. So that is going to be coming around. I believe it is going to be one of the Onyx players, but we are actually going to go quickly on a bit of a cheeky break, get everything sorted, get everything prepped. So don't go too far away. Give yourself some chat time for the final bits of celebration. And we'll see you in a little bit.
And welcome back, everyone, from our quick break. We do have an interview with our Monash team with you coming up soon. Very quick, we're going to cut it to Yoda Pog. What a match from all the players on Monash. So it'd be great to be able to interview one of these players ourselves. So, Yoda, how are you doing?
Hold on, let me definitely in Discord. Yeah,
We can hear you. We can hear you. So,
yeah, I can hear you.
how are you feeling coming out of that game?
I'm feeling great.
Oh.
Like, just so happy.
Yeah.
Like, I was.
Yeah.
I
It
don't
must.
know.
Sorry.
Yeah, I have
It
actually
must
a
be
question.
such an amazing feeling to
Yeah.
kind of win that game in such a close way as well. I'm sure you and your team are feeling great about that victory. Sorry to cut you off, Kulu.
Yeah.
I have a question real quick.
Yeah.
What was happening on Chalet? Seeing as you guys kind of played it around, you had a relatively good momentum coming off map number 2, but certain things just seem to not have been working out. Could you maybe elaborate a little bit further on what was happening then?
I guess it really just came down to maybe a bit too excited, and like me myself, but like I was just not hitting shots that I should have hit, losing gunfights, and then it was a kitchen dining hold, and I could have gotten maybe 2 entries into sight, and just couldn't finish them off, and that really killed the momentum from the first map, I reckon.
Okay. Another question is, at which point throughout map number 3, that is Villa, at which point did you guys realize like this is the one, this is the dub?
It really wasn't until, for me, getting the Jaeger on the last round, so
Yeah.
the second last kill of the game. So I don't know. It was like, I know they're good players, so I'm not going to count them out at any point. So yeah.
Fair enough.
Hugely explosive last round in that. I believe we saw players coming from everywhere up those Astro stairs through that main breach in that trophy room. Must have been super chaotic in the comms as well. But you do take that round out, and with that, the whole series as well. So a great work there. As of map 1, we've seen that you've had great results on Oregon throughout this entire tournament. How did you feel going into that? And was you very, very confident? And did that confidence kind of build into the next couple maps?
Sort of, yeah. I have not been the best on Oregon, like, historically, so I was a little iffy, but I just did what I was told and played how I felt.
I see.
Like,
So full player life.
Peak is
sometimes.
crazy, so we really just rode his
Yeah.
momentum.
Fair enough. Well, we won't keep you for long, Yoda Pug. Congratulations once again on a dub. Well deserved.
you.
A fantastic run for you guys through the playoffs and through the season. So yeah, give yourself a nice break and get prepped for the next semester, I suppose.
Yeah, thank you.
Great. Thanks for appearing on the show. Congratulations on your win once again. And and good luck in future endeavors.
With that said, though, Jack, we had a stunning playoffs, stunning grand finals as well for us to witness. Any kind of final thoughts on all of it before we kind of start wrapping things up?
Well, that was a great series of games. Just throughout the entire tournament, really had me at the edge of my seat. But it's come to a bit of a close now. Onyx managed to pull out this win all the way from the lower bracket. They started there all the way from the first day of playoffs. So a fantastic comeback story from them as well, pulling themselves all the way out and finding this final first victory. Actually, they've been together as a team for so long, and it's so great to see them finally find this success.
Indeed. Well, that pretty much about wraps up for our show. Quick mention that we do have Season 2 registrations open. That is starting at June 21st and finishing at July 25th. Tournament begins on August 2nd. As well as that, we do have the grand final for Uni SA grand finals for Rocket League starting to 7 p.m. tomorrow night as well, so make sure to be tuning in. As well as that, huge shout out to our wonderful sponsors AOC, Chatime, Indomie, Rig. With Chatime, make sure to check out all of their fresh new range, as well as that, the 3 for $2 mix-ins combo. And with that said, my name has been The Russian Cthulhu, joined by Jackie Wathy, and we'll see you later. Take it easy.